Shall we begin?
So it begins.
And now it begins.
So it begins.
And so it begins.
Shall we begin?
It begins.
So, shall we begin?
So, it begins.
Shall I begin? Shall we begin? Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
Well, my friends, we have finally reached it. We have reached the end, the finale of the Book of Boobly Ugly Fett. Finally, thank God.
Boobs.
Seven episodes, and it is finally over. Yes, I'm celebrating. I have imaginary fireworks that I'm shooting off. I was thrilled that it's over. The last episode is an hour long. By God, that's torture.
I'm doing drugs.
Thank you.
You're fake news.
I don't have drugs to do, so do double for me.
I'm working on it.
Okie dokie. So Angus and I watched it last night. I was actually about to go to bed, and then he calls. He's like, "Rookie, you're awake." Like, oh shit!
You're gonna stay awake longer for Star Wars.
He's like, "Yeah, it's Star Wars." Yeah. I'm like, okay, let's watch it together. All right, we'll watch it at the same time. Cool. And then watching it, and it's like, man, this was like I feel like it was an hour went by, but like not much happened in that whole time. And that was just how I felt. And then we're both tired, and it's just like, man, that was the finale. Okay. And then like the tease at the end of just back to Tank Cobb. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I guess that's it.
Cobb Vance.
Yeah. So that was pretty much our thing. Angus was deflated, unfortunately. Like, it wasn't quite what he had in mind for the finale here.
Did you love Cobb Vance role in this episode?
Cobb Vance. Bam.
And Flip, how was your experience with this finale?
Oh my God, I was absolutely miserable. I'm deflated as well. Yeah, man, that's just to sum it up for a quick answer for now.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely let you get your word in on this in just a moment here. First of all, what's up, DeCarry and Rob's Rules? What's up, Rob? How's it going, man? What's up?
Rob!
I hope your leg's doing well, man. I know you're still injured, I think.
What happened?
I didn't know. Yeah, he got a leg injury. I forget. I don't remember if he shared it on Twitter or not. I think I think he's still healing.
Hope you get better, man. Hope it wasn't a dog bite.
I think so. Don't remember what happened exactly. Yeah, so I just realized this now. Yeah, YouTube's had a thing lately. I've noticed it a little bit. Like, we're on live streams, they'll say there's like 1 or 2 people watching, and there's more. Like, there's like for streams that have like 1,000 people, they're like, 2 people are watching. And it's like, no, there's clearly more than that. So I see it happening here as well. But yeah, anyway, let's not waste any time, guys. It's the finale of the Book of Boba Fett thingy.
Wait,
wow.
Let me share something really quick.
Okay. Got a meme?
No. All right, go on for a second while I find it.
That's okay. Let's see here. Rob was saying, yeah, I thought he would join Fett. He's talking about?
We thought you would join the Fets, not rule them.
Yes. Oh, about Banth. Okay. Or Cad Bane. Oh, he thought Cad Bane would join Boba Fett. That'd be interesting. Yeah, he broke his leg. Somebody said, hey, break your leg. And he's like, okay. And it's like, oh, man. You're not supposed to really break your leg, Rob.
Not literally.
Luke sent that little shit back so quickly.
What was up with that? You don't just send. You're not Luke Skywalker and be sending the baby back. Like, I don't have time to be bothered with this. Since you didn't pick me, I'm going to be a little bitch and put you in the R2. Just get him out of my sight.
There wasn't even an interaction. Like that is the failing of many of this episode is the setups, and then you literally do the most like underhanded kind of delivery for a plot point.
Yeah.
Like, decision 2022, Grogu, will he pick the armor or the saber? or will he pick the middle option in both, or walk away? Like Ahsoka. So he's got 4 options really right there, and and Luke is like, and this is I'm saying the groundwork for like the flaws of Luke Skywalker in Last Jedi, and they don't even give you that moment of like, like him sweating for the option. It's like, oh, there's this there, they do this like fake tease like Mando season 2 when Luke comes in the X-Wing, and they're like, oh, the X-Wing's here, Luke's coming. Oh, and it's like I instantly was like, he's not even in it.
Does this almost does this almost render that moment that some people enjoyed for the end of season 2 where Luke comes in, takes Grogu away? It's like, does that lessen that in some way, knowing that this is what happens after? It's like, he just kind of takes him around for a bit and then just whatever, leaves him, lets him go.
It lessens it way. Like, I mean, it ruins the end of season 2. In fact, if you didn't watch this Boba Fett show, which somebody out there I'm sure didn't, and they're like, well, I just like Mando, so they're gonna pick up with Mando, and he's already back with him, like randomly,
Yeah.
This was me this morning. I literally set my alarm for like 3:00. I was about to get out of bed, but I checked the Disney app first, and then it's like it's live. And of course, the last few episodes, I like the whole show to varying degrees, but the last 2, they're nailing like the fervor to watch Star Wars, to get up at 3 a.m. to watch this shit so you can get a review up before work. And I'm like, and so this was me. Yeah, let's go Star Wars. It's 3 a.m. I just got up. It's time for Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
And then afterwards, like you'd see me in my review, I'm like tired as fuck, and I'm like, why did I watch this? Fuck you.
I love the before and after. It's like, it's great.
I mean, we were laughing together on the phone watching it because it's like this is awful.
Well, it's like to me, this is almost probably the worst episode because of how just they had so much in their hands and just like dropped it all. And it's like, oh, I guess that happened.
You're curious about this? You're curious about Cobb Vanth? You're curious? No, whatever. Curious about Luke Skywalker? Oh, is Ahsoka going to help Mando by association? Nope, fuck you.
This is the one thing that Disney is good at. It's like, setting up like a decent predicament or like a dramatic like buildup of some kind, and then just like pooping it off, just like casually just going, no, this is what it is. It's like, can you believe next time this is what will happen? Now here it is. It's like, oh, okay, thanks. I guess that happened. Yeah, okay. Just totally takes all the meaning out of whatever it was built up. It's like, I don't even like Baby Yoda, but I was like, oh, that's like it's like something, I guess, with the thing. I think is
who else didn't like Baby Yoda? Hitler. You're in good company, Rookie. You're on the wrong side of history, my friend.
Okay. But even then, it was like, I guess there's something there for like some type of character things to be going on, and then it's just like, nah, just send R2, send him back to Tatooine where the Mandalorian's probably in the middle of some hot shit. Send him there with R2D2, and just fuck off. Like,
well,
what else is Luke doing?
R2 know to take the baby to Pelio, whatever her name is, at that exact place.
Well, Baby Yoda's been there before, so it's like there's.
So it put in the coordinates, of course.
I'm not saying that Baby Yoda put it in coordinates. I'm just saying like he's already been there before.
Yeah.
Mando came to the planet. You don't know if Ahsoka was like lingering, and it's like, yeah, I know where he's going.
Well, that's the thing. Then it's just up to us to figure that out.
Yeah, that's the problem. We got to finish the story for him.
That's so much of what it is. It's just like, well, I guess just think about this. If you can come up with the scenario, that's what happened.
I guess.
That's essentially what it is.
It's a rebel officer. Oh my God, do this, fix that.
Put it's like away. It's like based on that, we could go, well, maybe Mando secretly left a transceiver that has his coordinates or something, but we never saw it, so that's just all speculation.
He's using one of those bounty fobs.
Oh my God, don't bring those up again. I hate that concept so much. Anyway,
they don't tell you how it works at all. It's like, oh, so yeah, hold on. This is you.
Help me remember. What happened in the first 5 minutes of the episode? Like, does anything happen? They're just is that just them?
Cad Bane, one of the first things I remember, Cad Bane meets with the Pikes.
He goes, yes.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for someone to make a gif out of it where he's like, yes. Like, that's it. They just focus that one shot on him, like, yes. That was awesome. Can't wait for that to be a meme. But yeah, and then you learn that, like, the Pikes did the whole thing and framed the Nikto bikers as killing the Tuskens. So Boba Fett actually like murdered an innocent gang, unrelated, because he's got a history. And I was thinking, I meant to tell you this when we were talking earlier, Ricky. The spice, even though they still don't explain or show any kind of like repercussions for usage in the galaxy, you're just seeing like the trade of it. But Boba already has a negative connotation to the spice in the current day because those people were slaughtering the Tuskens.
Mm-hmm.
So
I guess this is something Flip and I talked about when we were talking. We're like, so okay, trading spice. Let's just pretend that it is a bad thing. It's like, oof, that's bad stuff, and so that's what they're telling us. And they need to. The Pikes want to trade so bad on Tatooine. Why? Like,
With
to whom? Whom are they trading with? Like who's on the planet that is so vital that they are trading on Tatooine?
God, this one element could have been a Star Wars Breaking Bad.
Especially when it's like they have a whole galaxy, but they're treating this one planet like, I don't know, like it's just you just can't leave the planet practically. Like, I don't understand. And if Flip brought Flip and I were, there's a lot of things that came up too with ours, and same with Angus. But like, doesn't Boba Fett have a freaking spaceship? Like, and didn't Mandalorian come in on a starfighter thing that can literally, cause some damage? But they're like,
bombed them from orbit.
They're like, no, we'll just
ended the whole thing from orbit, man. Just done.
And like the Pikes have no spaceships. The
at all.
Mandalorian and Boba have spaceships they don't use. Like,
no, the Pikes got spaceships. They got those like.
No, those aren't
space
theirs. No, they got dropped off by those spaceships.
Those are like trains.
But then but if they are theirs, then why don't they use them? Like, they have no weapons just in this galaxy, really?
They only had like 15 Pikes, like for a galactic syndicate. Like, that was a very small organization to cover the entire planet. There's that. I mean, they had no ships. First of all, if they'd had just a small satellite with steel rods in it from orbit, they could have held Boba Fett and Mando's feet to the fire and said, all right, well, you can either leave the planet or we're going to bomb Mos Espa from orbit. That would have been like, oh, shit, okay, gotcha. You don't even do that.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things. The more you think about it, it's just like, why this? Like, why any of this? Like,
oh my god.
So okay, let's come on. There's people in the chat real quick joining us. We got what's
up, Phoenix?
We got Phoenix in the chat. He says they should have had the Pikes blockade the planet or something. I mean, maybe.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that would have been so
maybe.
great because all these Disney shows, their heads would have to NPC
Go to the prequels.
fry because it's literally the start of the story is the Naboo blockade, and they're like, these movies stupid, and then like they would mimic that and be like, this is amazing, it's such rich storytelling.
Well, that's actually a really good point. I mean, that would give reason why Boba Fett is stuck on the planet. Like, he can't get past the blockade to leave, so he's got to try to deal with things this way.
It doesn't work already because, like, if the Pikes and Cad Bane know all this stuff, they got eyes on them. They know Mando is in connection to him, and he's flying off in his Naboo starfighter.
No, I agree. There's still lots of problems here. I also think, Cad Bane, it's fine that they have him at all, I guess, but like he could have probably been like a season-long antagonist of some kind. Or character, like
character,
instead of just introduced at the last second and then killed. It's kind of like, all right. I mean, I guess that's over because so far there's been no attachment or like any understanding of the villains at all, other than they like spice and their fish on a desert planet.
Spicy quesadillas.
Like this makes me really think that I would have rather spent time with Gungans, honestly, this whole time. That'd at least be funny, probably, with how dumb it is.
I want to see Gungans on spice.
Yeah, that'd be fun. They got they got their technology things. I don't know. DeCarry says it was on a trade route they wanted. Right, but this is the point. A trade route they wanted on Tatooine, the planet that's like, just on the outset of nowhere with like just nothing going on there. Whom are they trading with on the planet? It's not like the planet is it's not like they're passing through to get to some other planet. Like, this is on the planet. Like, why do they need to trade spice so badly on Tatooine? I guess is my point. Like is there not any other better place to trade spice? Like, it'd be like if we had gangsters in like Los Angeles that want to trade spice or trade cocaine in like the desert. It's like, why? You have all these other places. No, let's go to the desert. When the Bloods and Crips go to the desert to trade drugs.
No, that's actually a thing though. Like Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul are really good at like making that an element of the story. It's like there's so much desolate terrain where it's like, you double cross me, I'm going to bury you here. No one's going to know,
I did not get that impression in this show though at all.
No, I'm saying like, yeah, you're like, this is just, like I am totally cognizant of the narrative problems of this story. Not even digging into like inconsistencies or like, wait, why was this a decision for the story writers? Like, not even that, but just what we're given. It's like, there's stuff here that could be fun. And this episode, like, a lot of people have like, Disney hate or whatever, negative on the show, what have you. For me, it's like, this was enjoyable in the sense of like, there's cool Star Wars looking things on screen. There's a lot of pew pew, but there's no substance. It's like, it's so surface level entertaining when you've told me to buy into a story that strips down the character and reinvents him, that he's at a new point in life. The Starlight Pit was like transformational for him, along with his experience with the Tuscans. And these like go hand in hand, along with the element of Jango Fett and him never having a home after Camino and his father dies. He's been wandering his whole life since. Despite the name he's built, he was left alone. And it's like, okay, this is not what I expected, but like, this is interesting. Let's see where you go. And not the direction I was wanting the show to go, but I was going along with it. And they don't even like follow through with what they built up, along with the deviation to Mando.
They set up lots of dominoes and just forgot about them.
Yeah.
They didn't even like
and yeah,
them down
Cad
properly.
Bane for like, a late season twist to get you like, oh, this character cameo, cool. He's still around. They did nothing with it. Like,
it's like
that should have been a huge element of things coming back to bite him.
Well, I was gonna say, like, even if he wasn't like on screen in the rest of the show, like if they like found his hat or something, and people that recognize it go, "Oh, that's Cad Bane's," but everybody else is like, "I don't know, who is that?" Boba Fett could be like, "I've seen this before," and something, and it's like, to show his involvement somewhere in it, so there's like a thread to why he's connected. Real quick, Rob says Tatooine is not controlled by the Empire or the Rebels. Right, but what they present is that Tatooine is just this hot spot for spice. But like, I think that this would have worked better if there was like a more influx of people retreating to Tatooine to get away from the Rebels or Empire, all that stuff. The remnants, like, to go, okay, this is like an outskirt, that we can all, all these other players from other planets can come to. And try to deal some of their illegal shit,
which is
but
what
that's,
you get
but that's
in
not that's
episode
not
1.
What was that?
Phantom Menace. You get that clearly. Like, we're in no man's land. We go like the Republic. Our credits mean nothing here.
Yes, thank you.
We got to put all our bets on this fucking kid in a race that we just met. He's a fucking slave.
Yeah, well, and there's like a presence of there's entertainment from like Jabba, and there's different, like, you get that there's a system there that's separate from the other stuff. Flip, well, are you still there, or is your mic cutting out?
No,
Sure.
here.
Okay, yeah, just making
one thing
sure,
I want to
there's
add
technical difficulties
about like cameos and missed opportunities is, I think it's very clear Moff Gideon from Mando, which you got to catch up on. I'm very certain Moff Gideon is an element that's
the black guy, right?
From Breaking Bad. Ironically enough, from Breaking Bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like one of
Well-
the big bads in the show. But anyway, he is like an Empire remnant, like high leader. He's a Moff, and so he actually is a guy. Sorry to spoil Ricky, but you'll catch up. You won't care, but he's the guy that Man gets the Darksaber from in a duel.
Well, I've seen
And-
images of all that stuff. For
Yeah, okay.
That's
So
funny.
he's being held by the Republic. Of course, they're going to make it where he escapes or gets out, or Empire retrieves him, whatever the case. But I honestly expected maybe he would pop up in this as a cameo to like tease into Mando, a loose end of Mando's, and that would have been cool, especially on Tatooine, given like the lawlessness. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, the Empire are like throwing their weight here. Moff Gideon, he somehow got the Darksaber and decimated Mandalore.
Yeah.
That would have been like a cool element because Mando is there and you're like, you again, fuck. It's like Baby Yoda's right here. Fuck, he's gonna take him again.
Right. That'd be something.
And so many things. But yeah,
I was gonna say, let's talk. We can talk about what we want to see or something a little bit later. We still got to walk through this. But Flip, any commentary so far with this?
Well, the beginning was actually, from what I remember, it was them standing in whatever that lady's name from Flashdance was, FLIPP, her blown out club, and that's when fucking Fennec Shan starts telling everybody what to do again. And then if that's not enough, the little bitch from the mod crew is like, we're staying here to protect the people. And he's like, that's right, we'll stay here to protect the people. And I got to thinking about it. But if those motherfuckers stay there, the war's coming there. If they leave, go back to the palace, then the people are fine. Why would they run into town and start killing people?
Yeah, are they just gonna just stab random? So they even showed that there was Pike people in the town, and they were completely avoiding all citizens. Like they were completely leaving them alone.
Yeah, this didn't make like this is contrived writing. It's not just like, oh well, coincidentally the droids get caught by the Jawas that like are normal traders with Uncle Owen and Luke Skywalker, who happen, that kind of coincidence to start the story going. This is like they contrive a plot where they make it more of a dilemma, you would think, stakes, where people are at risk because of them. When like he has a palace that that's his home turf. He knows like he has the advantage if he stays at the palace and makes them come to him with the Rancor in his floorboards. But no, let me go to town, risk the people that I'm fighting for, and bring my Rancor to destroy fucking who knows how many buildings.
There's no like trap set up or anything to ambush or catch them off guard a bit or anything. Just
they didn't use the Slave One. If he used the Slave One, he probably could have blasted those.
Yeah, I was gonna say Flip brought that up.
Call it the Slave One.
Yeah, fire spray.
Fire spray gunship.
It was like if Flip brought up that he has his ship, and then I remembered Mando has his literal like Naboo fighter. Like these could have like bombed the Scorpion droids and probably you know what I mean. Like this type, it's annoying. It's really annoying when they just forget about things like that.
They said, let's stand in an alley and die for this cause. Is that cool with you? Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, it's like, really? You want to die for this? This is pathetic. Like, for what? And honestly, I didn't feel any danger of them dying. And not just because they're protagonists, but because, I don't know, they're super duper up in armor. Like, whenever they get shot, they never really get hit in the pieces where they don't have armor, ever. It's like, okay, so, but they will cut themselves on accident with their own weapons or something. That's fine. I guess. I think Zod's trolling at this point. I don't know. Zod, I'll send you a link in a little bit, but we're gonna chat for a little bit first. And if you want to pop in a little bit later, we'll let you talk and say your piece.
I'm sure you're kidding. I think
I feel like you're trolling because I don't know. I feel like that's totally not.
This feels like Rise of Skywalker in the sense that it seems mostly no one is pleased with this. There's like weird Disney shills out of the woodworks for this show.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it's so good. This was amazing. It did everything I wanted. And it's like, tell me this is what you expected when you saw the Book of Boba Fett teasing Mando. Like,
I don't think they think like normal people. I don't think they think things through. I think some people are just shallow-minded. They don't understand that.
I mean,
there's
let's
cause and effect.
yeah. I mean, let's try to walk through some of the episode and see where we go with this. And because I mean, there's not that much to talk about, honestly, in a way, because not much happens in the movie or in the episode. They stand around in the rebel of the diner or the club or whatever for a while, just kind of chilling and talking a little bit and not really doing anything. They get their guys set up in the city. Hold on, I guess we sort of mentioned the Grogu thing, but it's like officially, yeah. So at night, R2D2 arrives with an X-wing with Grogu in the seat, and the lady just takes him. I guess, like, what if Mando like wasn't even on the planet? Like, it's just, hey, you're on Tatooine, that great place that's totally safe for kids. I guess I don't know. Yeah, that's just interesting. And then, yeah, and then they set up. Well, why'd they set up people around the city, like Chrysanthemum and the pigs and the biker crew? Why were they just spread out?
Oh, those fucking pigs.
Around the city? Was that like a strategy of any kind? Like, I didn't really get that was a move.
Hey, stand by this cliff. Nothing crazy is going to happen. It's not even strategic. You're out in the open, and the only defense is a hole behind your back.
A huge one.
Yeah. I just like none of that made any sense, and then they just kind of flood into the city with the Pike people, and it's just like, well, and the whatever people that teamed up with them, and it's just. Okay, I guess you're doing that.
I particularly loved how the green pig guy had a transmitter, and he picks it up to talk, and he's like,
I didn't even remember that at all.
What is this SJW saying to me?
Like, what the fuck? I actually expected him to say something for a second there.
What, you just expect him to be like, yeah, boss, the Pikes, they just parked here in the ship. They're coming
that'd be funny.
down.
That would have been funny if like Mandalorian.
Tony Soprano pig.
That'd have been hilarious if the Mandalorian was like, "What the hell is that noise on that microphone? Somebody got a hold of your mic." Well, that's my pig.
No, he
gods.
finds the pig's
You're
like,
what?
Sorry.
My brother, he's sick.
Oh man, but that was funny too. Did everybody care when the pigs died? I was
No,
like,
I was
oh yeah,
so
they
glad.
suck. I was like, they suck at their job entirely.
First episode we talked about this. Like, why would you re-enlist them? They suck.
They failed twice, and then they failed again here. Like, what was their point? Like, I don't even know. I'm surprised they even sent anybody to deal with them. They're such a non-factor.
Yeah, really.
And I was so pissed that the biker gang didn't get killed. I was like, can you kill them? Like, can you just kill all of them? I think they killed one of them.
I want to answer Rob because they were lookouts, right? But when you can't talk, like, it's not a lookout. Like, he squealed. I'm not even sure they understood what that meant.
Well, it's like I guess I'm thinking of it maybe differently. It's like, so were the Pikes just in the city, or did they have to enter the city?
It looks like they land up top there, right, in their big bus ship or whatever.
I guess. I just feel like if that's the case, then yeah, really, why are you guys even in the city? Like, lookouts for, like, so if they see, like, by the time you see them, you're probably fucked. Like,
well, you would think, but they're just,
you stand out like a sore thumb. Like the bikers in their bikes. You got Chrysanthemum, the Wookiee. You got the pigs. None of them are discreet at all. Like, I don't know. Like, if they're a spy, I could see them. I could see that working. If they're not, I don't understand why they stand out like a sore thumb. Like, they're, hey, kill the two pigs, kill the Wookiee, and kill the colorful bike gang. That's simple. That's all of the forces, pretty much. and then the colorful, the shiny Mandalorian, and the green armored Boba Fett. Like, they all stand out like sore thumbs.
They do.
Not as bad as the Vespas. When the Vespa got blew up, I was like, yes, they're going to kill them. And then,
yes. You and I are both cheering for their deaths when they're getting shot at. We're like, oh, die.
It's like, good job, Disney. You've made heroes that we're rooting for to die.
Yes, set them up to knock them down. Set up your own guys and knock them down yourselves. Don't set up the old, our old ones and knock them down. Set up your own and kill them. That would be something. But so whatever, they all get jumped. Like, did we skip anything that's important up to this point before they arrive? Like, I feel like nothing really happens.
I watched it once, and it was last night. I'm not going to watch it again.
I feel like nothing significant happens up until they finally get jumped.
Well, then Luke's X-wing arrives at that place, and no one knows how they knew.
That's what I was mentioning before. Like, yeah, the X-wing arrived with R2 and Grogu at night, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess you're on Tatooine. You sent it to Tatooine. Wow.
How did you know to go to that garage? Like that one garage.
Well, it's just like, what if somebody else was there? Like, I don't know. Does he think that Grogu can handle himself?
What if the Pikes were there?
Yeah,
that would have been funny. They're like, why is a green baby thing here?
That'd been funny because then they could have played on the whole Luke with the frog, the Force, where it's like maybe just so he's missing the point of like the grandeur of what he could do, and they so focus on one thing. It's like, look, if you focus, you can.
He makes them float a little. He makes them all float a little bit off the ground, and they're like, "What's going on?"
And then he eats one,
chokes them.
That would be funny, but no, you mentioned too. Like, was he wearing the armor? Like, that seemed to be so quick that if he mentioned it, I don't remember.
Yes,
yeah, he's wearing the armor,
and it was pointless. That would have been interesting. That would have been at least a moment if
they could have
if Grogu got shot and Mando's like, nah, fuck, you know, and you know, or I don't know how he'd emote. I have no idea.
Darksaber.
I don't know, something, and then it's like, it just turns over laughing. It's like, what, you fucking little shit? Oh, you wore the armor.
You could have had a scene like 300 when the son dies and then the father just goes fucking berserk.
Like, that would have been at least something. Like, that would have been like a moment out of the shithole to like go, oh, look, you know, there's something here a little bit, you know.
This is a spin. This is complete. This completely encapsulates how stupid this fucking episode was.
Yeah.
See, my thought was it's also like the way that it's cut from like where the Wookiee is. They cut it like there must have been a lot of mistake here, and the way they cut it just looks awful.
Get up.
Yeah.
This is purposeful. It's like, all right, I want you to like pull your weapon, but then for no reason, when you already have it like up at like your sighting, for no reason, spin and lose your sight and regain it.
Yeah. And when you spin and when you shoot, go pew 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 with your mouth, like pew pew.
He throws him off like, get up off me, get up off me.
Yeah. My God,
this is beautiful. This is cinema.
No,
Martin Scorsese is jealous.
Do I hear Oscar? Wouldn't be surprised.
Anyway, and thank you, E-Hacker stopped by for a minute. Thanks, man, for popping in for a moment. Let's see, is Rob? I'm looking back and forth on the chat while I'm trying to recollect what the hell happened in the episode to walk us through.
It's bad and you can't remember it. You know?
Well, it's like I feel like I watched the whole thing. I wasn't that tired while watching it.
Yeah, and
it's like, there just wasn't that much there. But Rob says, I thought Luke was coming in. I was like, oh, it's going to change everything. So I'm okay if Luke wasn't going to intervene in the fight. Like, I feel like that would also, be all right. He's like, yeah, this isn't my conflict. I'm just going to, be out of here. But, I did bring the baby. I'm not going to leave the baby with you. Well, like this. So, maybe I'll hang around. At most, I can be a last defense or something. Something like that. I don't know. Like, I don't know if Luke needed to be here. I feel like the baby Yoda shouldn't have been here at all. Like, that should have been like saved for if you're gonna do a Mando season 3. That would have been a good hook starting point for that or something to see what he chooses. Maybe.
Yeah, there shouldn't have been Baby Yoda there. That doesn't. They only threw that in there to, pull it, or somebody corporate and above, everybody else was like, "You better get that baby back in that shiny bastard's hands," Gotta make a
shiny bastard.
Put the baby back in the box.
What do you think, Angus? Like, do you think that I was like, yeah, that's fine. That I know you liked that. You guessed it.
I love
there.
Baby Yoda.
You guessed it. When you saw the X-wing,
literally, I saw the X-wing. I'm like, it's Baby Yoda.
I was just like, just Baby Yoda. I thought you were joking.
No, I was serious, and it was. I'm like, oh my god, they really did that.
I was like, that'd be so dumb. I'd be like, that's so dumb if that's what they did, and then they literally did.
But then I was watching it, and I'm like, well, maybe he's got the saber, and it's like, no, it's not like, all right, let me see Baby Yoda with a saber to fucking hack away at these pikes.
Yep. Okay, I think it's confirmed now. Thankfully, yes. Zod was merely trolling before.
Okay.
Like, yeah, given everything he's talked
reviews.
about with
Okay.
Boba Fett in depth, and then he's like, "This was amazing." Woo. I'm like, "This what?"
Okay, thank you. I'll love to hear his thoughts on this. And Rob, if you're free, if you want to hop in a little bit too, I'll send a link to you as well if you want to join in. It's been a while since we've chatted on here. But yeah, so let's see. So they all get jumped. The way Angus explained it was like the Game of Thrones season 8 or something. Like what? Because they're all separated.
No, the Battle of Winterfell, like one important character dies, and that's like the cuck for Daenerys, who can never get her, and Mormont, and fucking Samuel Tarly is getting swarmed by White Walkers, and we've seen what they can do. Like one of them can do to people. They got a swarm of them, and nothing happens to this dweeb who doesn't belong in warfare. And Brienne and Jamie are getting swarmed. It's like, who will die?
Well, then they cut away, right?
Yeah, they cut away, and it's like, God, how many people are dead? And it's like, oh, like one important character died. Whatever.
Like they imply that they're probably so fucked they're dead, right? When they cut away.
Yeah. And
they get the implication.
Like, oh, they all made it.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, they're all fine. And that's pretty much what happened here. It was like, a chrysanthemum gets jumped by, what the fuck are they called? The
lizard people.
The lizards, or what are they called?
Oh, the Trandoshans?
Yeah, the
Trandoshan. That's how you say it.
Trandoshans.
Like something you put on the end of a bed.
Yeah.
It's my new pronoun.
Okay, I'm Trandoshan. I'm Trandoshan. That does sound like a pronoun.
I identify as Trandoshan.
I can see that being on.
Oh my god, someone did it. Wait. I gotta show this. I'm trying to find that cat.
Are you kidding me? You can't be serious.
No way.
This was funny. I thought this was off the cuff. Right there.
Well, no, everything I was saying was off the cuff, but no, look, this is what I was saying. I want to see Baby Yoda with the Mando helmet. And someone did art of it. I love it. Oh, I'm saving that. Yes. Baby Mando.
That's not no.
Yes.
That's a no for me too.
This is peak fan service, what I want.
Yeah.
He should be a Jedi. That's what should happen.
You.
Well, no. But I think he should have stayed with Luke for sure.
Yeah. But okay, so everybody's getting jumped. All the bikers are like cornered. So like the bikers get cornered, and it's just looks so uneventful. Like it looks like such a I guess we're cornered. Like, they're just being shot at kind of by people, and it's like, okay, and the bad guys were being very clear not to hit any civilians, really. They just kind of attacked the fucking Boba Fett people that are there. And then they get attacked as well in their little diner base, but they choose to send the butthead guy, the orange man butthead guy, the Twi'lek, who's very talky and annoying. Honestly, I'd prefer Jar Jar Binks to him. I
find him funny in his delivery, out of place in this universe purposely, but they pushed it with this episode.
Yeah.
Like, I understand people not like him from the get-go. I was fine with them, but they overdid it.
There was like it would be fine if it was in much smaller doses, I guess, but this was like a little bit more of him than I can handle at once. I'm just like, no, I'm good. So they send him out there with like a little weird data pad, which seems far more complicated than like a simple like tablet or something. And it's just like he reads all these demands, which is basically go fuck yourself. And then he's like, oh shit, this isn't good. And the whole time and Angus can vouch for this. Like as soon as he walked out there, I'm like, kill him, shoot him. Somebody shoot him, kill him, kill the guy, shoot him, kill him. And the more he's talking, I'm like, no, don't talk to him, kill him. Go, yes, we'll hear what you have to say. He speaks one word, kill him. No, they don't kill him at all. They shoot at him once. Oh, that annoyed me.
You think it was a complicated tablet? It looked like a pen and paper.
And then when I say complicated, I mean it looked bulky as fuck. Like it looked.
I did like that. That was a good joke. Or it's pretty much like, all right. So in terms of surrender, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that was funny, and I was like, yes, now kill him, please, kill him now. Don't stare at him, kill him. kill him now, and they're just not killing him. I'm like, nah, do something. and then they start firing, and that's where their gunfight begins. And they have jetpacks, which I'm like, I guess you used them now, but like, I don't know, that didn't really seem to do anything here either. Really, it's just I'm in the air, and now I'm
For a
not.
couple seconds.
And then they just kind of get shot at a bit, and armor hits them. And like Angus pointed out, that they show that the bullets, the lasers, whatever, like do like even if they block the shot, it still hits them with force. So I mean that's fine, but
Like,
just
ow.
still,
But then it's like you never showed this before, where the
that's
blasts
what
on your Beskar are like, ow. The
That's what I'm
force,
saying.
I still feel it. Like
usually it just like bounces off like it's nothing, right? And then this time it's like, oh, it still does damage. So it's an annoying inconsistency that's just like, it's not that bad, but it's like, it's just annoying because this is like they're being beaten down, and what's gonna happen? And then what happens when they're getting shot at here? Oh, that's when the city people come in, right? From the Red Cowboys city.
Town. Yeah, Mospelgo.
Yeah, they ride in on a little tank thingy and kill a couple of the bad guys. And Chrysanthemum, he has like a whole bunch of them on him, like a whole bunch of the lizards surround him somehow, and they all have knives. And then they all of a sudden don't have any knives. They all got like the TL Jade knife disappearing trick, but they just all don't have knives anymore. Like they could just cut his head off or something, but no, they just all kind of hold him down, sort of. And then they just cut to him, like just with he's just literally throwing them off of him for a while from wherever down the street he was. Just I guess they held on to his legs. I don't know. Then he joins them after he gets shot like 10 times.
For real, he was beaten, shot, stabbed,
Oh my god!
piled up on, and he drags him well across the city. And then you see him come around the bend like he's not hurt at all.
Yeah, it's like he takes a health pack off screen and heals every now and then. It's like, what?
This will hurt, but it is funny, but it'll hurt. It's like, oh my god!
Oh, what do you have for
Of
us?
all the sources to use a meme to perfectly encapsulate what this show has done, in one aspect.
Yep, that's it.
Tosses Boba Fett.
Pretty much. I haven't seen this meme in forever. So.
I remember they were using it for like Kathleen Kennedy or something, where it's like some people memed where it's like there was some note from Disney where it's like congratulating Infinity War for like beating it at the box office, and it was like Thanos or something has the note, and he's like,
That's funny.
that's hilarious. This is a good
Exactly, Rob. Like he was totally hurt, and then you get Boba Fett runs over there. Hold on, I'm gonna help him. They're like, no, Boba, don't do it.
Yeah, it was just like, all right. I was like, kill Bigfoot, kill him. I was like, will they actually kill this character? Like, I was actually going to give him a little bit of credit if they killed him, like, because he does seem cool, and then he goes out like a little bitch. But whatever, that's nothing new. But no, he's still alive and still kicking very strongly. And then the biker gang unfortunately survives thanks to Fennec. I hate that fucking name too. And she just comes in, snipes them a whole bunch, and they're like, "Oh, thank you, thanks, girl." And I was like, the way they looked at each other, I'm like, are they gonna scissor now? Like, okay. Like the Angus said, there was like a meme that they're gay or something. Like what?
Oh, some stupid weirdo. Like this is the problem with Disney having Star Wars of many. Is the weirdo fans that come out of nowhere pretend they're fans, and like someone's like, "Here's my Boba Fett bingo of stuff that's going to happen in the show. Look at all I've gotten right so far before I even watched the show." And then it's like at the top it says Fennec is gay. And it's like, why? What does that matter?
Yeah, but now I almost think that's going to be right, because the way that they looked at each other was like, that was a really long camera, like lingering on these two.
Fennec and who?
The biker chick, the British.
Sophie Thatcher.
It just seemed oddly long, considering they don't. I don't know. Did they care about each other? I don't think so. Like, but then they're like, "Oh, thank you for saving me, Fennec." No problem, babe.
This is how
It's
we
like
win.
the look that I got.
By staring at each other.
Yeah. So I was like, that was me.
This is a good one. It says that armor isn't going to save you. Okay, Grandpa, let's get you back to bed.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the a lot of the nurse helping an old man walking memes with Boba Fett. Like Boba Fett's like, I used to work for the Empire and whatever, all these things, and like, yeah, that's cute. Yeah, sure. I survived the Sarlacc pit. No, you didn't. Go ahead. You're fine. But yeah, so okay, then the people come to help save the day, and then all of them are dead, I guess, and like all the bad guys, and then Scorpion droids come out, and they have droidica style shields, and then they shoot around for a long time, and then Boba uses his rocket and just kind of shoots it at the shields, and nothing happens, and they all scatter away.
Limp
And then they're running away from the droids for like the next 25 minutes, shooting at the shields, accomplishing nothing. That's the summary of the whole battle, really. But we can go in bit by bit here. But any comments far on this epic battle of the?
Well, I got to roll in about 10 minutes. I do want to say that you're right about that. The battle lasted for a long time, but it didn't feel like it lasted a long time.
Yeah, like nothing happened for 25 minutes.
Yeah, so out in the middle of the battle, or let's see something scary or something possible, where you're like, oh my God, that can't happen. We can't see that. And just nothing, man. It was just.
Yeah, honestly, Flip, you want to get out your grievances and just get out all of them. Get out anything you want with this.
It was just terrible. Like, I feel like Disney, I think, okay, this is just theorizing, but I feel like when they pulled that shit with Luke Skywalker, I think FALON were like, they got a talking to from, somebody, I don't know who the fuck. Somebody talked to him like, the hell are you doing? We told you you could work in a certain window of Star Wars, and then you do this without telling anybody. Well, then I feel like when they were going to make the Boba Fett show, they couldn't do it without having, to hold hands with the fucking writing group or something. That's how I feel. I don't know if this is true at all. I mean, I'm just guessing. But the way it runs is they started having a story, and then they changed the story wildly by killing the people that, Boba was getting hooked up with, the Tusken Raiders. And then all of a sudden, they switched complete gears again, because probably they had to trash some of the shows or something because they were terrible and didn't, run well with, audiences or something. So they instead said, well, screw it. We're going to put a couple of the Mandalorian season 3 episodes in there for filler. Oh, okay. And that'll buy us some time. It'll buy us 4 weeks to hurry up and fix the ending. Because the Cad Bane thing, you're right, should have been way at the beginning. And of course, you got to remember, they just took them Tusken Raiders out, and that was it. No more, nothing. So it's disjointed, to say the least.
The only thing we get with the Tuskens was I think he kills Cad Bane with a gaffy stick. But honestly, I'm like,
which came from
nowhere. I was like, oh yeah, you have a gaffy stick.
No, he had the gaffy stick. At least in that sequence, he already had it on himself.
Well, no, I'm saying that I know, but like in terms of like the meaning, it's like, oh yeah, I guess you had that before, and I guess he killed them. I guess he killed. I don't know. It's just like I'm trying to find any meaning to anything that they're doing. It's like at most I can go. Cad Bane made fun of the Tuskens, and then he also killed him with the thing from the Tuskens. That's about as much I can pull from, and that's stretching, I feel.
Well, guys, it's just sad to me because like they really made some headway in a place where I thought they couldn't make any headway, and that was to sort of, without apologizing to the fans, apologize to the fans with putting up some good Star Wars. And to me, The Mandalorian was that. And now they've gone and associated The Mandalorian with this shit, which sucks real bad. And I was talking to Rookie earlier. He said, well, you didn't even get a whole season away from, Grogu and the Mandalorian. They couldn't even, they blew their load, man. They had, we got to get that shiny bastard, and this guy back together real fast. Like, so that's why it seems like somebody up top was like, look, this is our moneymaker. It's the one fucking thing making us money. Get those two back together.
Yeah, I thought Mando would at least have a few episodes of his own show by himself without Grogu, and then, you know, come back to that or something. Like the way Angus was putting it to me, or I don't remember if it was with you or Angus, but like, you know, he's got a lot of things on his plate with leaving the Mandalorians and trying to do the thing with Grogu and all this other stuff. It's like he's got some adventures he could go on, and it just was like, no, I guess whatever. Here it is. He's all set now.
Yeah, no, they're like, fuck it. He's the most important thing Mando's going to do is save Star Wars, and we're going to save it by ruining it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to hijack the whole stream, but that just really it covers my thoughts really well. We got Zod, and we got Rob. Hey guys.
What's up, man? Thanks for inviting me.
Hey, what's up to talk about the best Star Wars ever created?
Get him the fuck out.
Fucking Boba Fett for the win, am I right? That was a motherfucking score. Woo!
Okay, here we go.
I'm so glad to hear.
I got my Disney hat. I got my fucking Boba Fett shirt. I do really have Grogu. But yeah, man, fuck yeah, Disney, am I right, guys? Disney, they fucking did it.
First off, wait, hold on. Before you guys, listen, I'm not a sequel trilogy fan either, okay? But before everybody blows everything up, there's one thing that everybody misses, and that this fandom will never be happy again. If they put something new out there, you're gonna hate it. If they go with something old, you're gonna hate it. And this is how, well, I'm just saying, for every stream or every tuber I watch, they're like, oh, I want something new. And then something new comes out and they're like, oh, man, I can't stand this character. And then they put something old and they're like, oh, you got to rip off of George because you got no creativity. And I'm like, so we're never going to be happy.
No,
I mean,
this with Mandalorian,
you know,
I mean, that was fine. They bring
did you like the Clone Wars season 7?
Hell yes, Clone Wars.
Okay. So they
I like
do
the last
have
4 episodes.
Right, the 4 episodes were great. The middle 4 could have been skipped, but you know, that was like whatever. I don't know what the hell that was about. But
they just got to be consistent. That's the problem.
I just want some decent writing consistency. I mean, that's mostly what I'm looking for. So I don't base it on whether it's new or old. It's like
those 4 episodes of Bad Batch. I don't get how that ever warranted a show.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they just wanted to tell, I guess, something different. They wanted to try and have different clones that were, you know, genetically different. You know, I mean, I don't think it was horrible. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I don't think it was the greatest I've ever seen, but I don't think it was the worst either. I don't think there was some episodes that were really good. But like listen, you get 8 episodes. You're gonna have those ones that suck and are just fillers.
I feel like,
you know,
I don't know. I feel like, you know, there's when you spend enough time crafting a show. I mean, Cobra Kai is probably a good example of. None of them felt like real filler episodes. There were a few moments in some of the episodes that felt like you maybe could have done without, but as far as a full episode, those were pretty.
Rob, you know, sorry, but I just got to debunk your statement for a second. You know what's 8 episodes? Reacher. It's fucking phenomenal. You know what's 8 episodes? Peacemaker. It's fucking phenomenal. You know what's 8 episodes?
Oh no.
Fucking Swamp Thing. That got canceled. It's so fucking phenomenal. I don't buy the garbage that because you have this limited episode thing, you can't make a good story. You know what it was? This, and I got this from other sources, but this show was chopped to hell. They have cut scenes. They have cut storylines.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem, because I could tell you from 2 years ago that you guys might not know or might not remember. When I was covering this in the very beginning, when I first started my channel, they were supposed to have a Boba Fett movie, an Obi-Wan movie, no TV show. It was supposed to be Boba Fett solo movie. You know, all these movies characters were supposed to be solo. They were supposed to be the fill-in between the movies. So they'd have, let's say, episode 12, and then they would have a solo movie on a character, and then they would go to another episode. That's what it was supposed to be. But when Solo tanked because of The Last Jedi, they shit their pants. So what they did was they said, oh, we got a streaming service. What a great idea. We'll make a show instead of a movie. We can't go wrong, because if people don't watch it, so what? They're still subscribed. And if they do watch it, they watch it. Great. We get high ratings and the shareholders are happy. So it's a no lose situation for Disney. People don't understand.
I agree. I agree on that. I think
So they make garbage.
I do feel bad for the creators and people wanting to come in to do Star Wars or potential, or it's like, oh, let's reach out to like Patty Jenkins of all people. There's a reason they grabbed her. There's a reason they grabbed her after Benioff and Weiss, who made the biggest show in history so far, Game of Thrones, got dropped because of season 8. And so, you know, you're never going to get a Chris Nolan. You're never going to get David Fincher, who's already, you know, gone through with Alien before huge franchise stuff was a thing, like it is now. You're never going to get Denis Villeneuve to come to Star Wars, which is what I was hoping. You got Gareth Edwards, and he's got a unique take in his film style, and they meddled with his film. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is like you already got like such a volatile fandom. It lets you know the second it happens how we feel, and we're already fractured after a kind of split from the prequels. Now we're fragmented like the Reformation.
We're sore,
and you get some goodwill back from a lot of people with Mando, and then you make this where it's not even a consistent narrative for 7 episodes with a character we've been wanting back for 39 years.
Yeah, real quick. Flip said he's got to head out in a sec.
Yeah, sorry, Flip.
Sure.
No, that was great though. That was really great. I was really riveted on what you're saying because I couldn't agree more, Angus. And I said 20 years for a second because since 2002, when Attack of the Clones came out, the only thing I could think that Boba Fett would want to do after he got out of the Sarlacc pit is find Mace Windu and skull fuck him. Like, where did that storyline go?
That's the opening crawl.
That's the tagline. That's the tagline.
He crawls out of he crawls out of the pit and he's like, I gotta get some money. I'm gonna get a bounty first. He gets a bounty and he's like, great, I'm gonna follow this lead. And he goes, oh shit, Mace Windu's still alive. All right, I'm gonna kill him. You know, and then he goes and kills him. Even the actor, Tamir Morrison's like, we really should have done a Hunt Mace Windu episode. And, you know, he's right.
He goes to hunt him down, but he dies of old age as he pulls a gun on him. It's like, oh.
Instead, they play checkers to the death or something.
Yeah.
Well, like, yeah. So I was talking to Ricky just like an hour ago. I was like, Book of Boba Fett, like, you know, the idea, what would be his motive? What would be a motivation, especially with like you've brought back Luke in the fold as a character to portray in live action. You could have a partial plot where there's a misunderstanding, where he's like, for whatever reason, hears about Luke, like, oh yeah, fuck that guy, he's why I'm in the pit. Or Han Solo.
Yeah, I was
very obvious, but Luke Skywalker as well is part of that, and what destruction he's wrought on the galaxy for his employment, he might be out for. And then, you know, he eventually crosses paths and he finds out, oh wait, Mando's cool with them. I guess we're cool. We have, you know, a common ally. Lets it go, and that's kind of a misdirect plot. Or of course the Mace Windu angle, where it's like, like Ricky's like, oh, that'd be stupid to bring him back. It's very much implied he's dead, but it's not for sure. And so I think that'd be a legitimate way you get a willing actor who's still fit enough to play the role, to add more to the character. If anything, that's one thing in the prequels I'll say is like he's kind of left to the wayside in the prequels. You don't get enough of him to really understand his place and why he's number 2 at the Jedi Temple. But yeah, those would be some angles that would make sense to start the show. And it's just you had James Mangold build to make a Boba Fett film, and he did Logan. He's done good shit. And yeah, like I don't know, I said way back then when when there's a mass boycott of Star Wars to make them hurt for Last Jedi, it's like instantly they found out, well, we're not doing Obi-Wan or Boba Fett because Solo failed, and they were just like bent over. You know, they didn't foresee that like that could be a possibility. Like, oh, you're going to lose some projects that you're hoping for by making them hurt. And it's like, that's the price, but people weren't willing to pay it. And now back to back, we're getting, you know, Boba Fett, which narratively went a different way I ever expected, but I was into it until this episode.
10 minutes.
And now Obi-Wan's coming, and hopefully that'll be better. Deborah Chow did really good in her part in Mando, but
I'm hoping that Obi-Wan is really good, but I'm definitely worried more than I ever was before.
I've been worried since the beginning, especially when I heard, okay, they're going to bring back Hayden Christensen. Okay, that's to get fans back. But why are they battling? They should never battle. I hope it's a dream sequence because that will kill the lore. And I'm very worried about that.
Oh,
I mean, you could have Hayden Christensen in the thing without them fighting.
yeah, he could have been the overlord for the Sith Inquisitors that are chasing him down.
But they did say that they're going to battle.
Yep, they did.
And I'm like,
they said
oh no.
Battle of the Century.
Yeah, and I don't want to see that.
I just don't want to see sand ever again. I'm tired of the desert.
Guys, I got to roll. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, Flipster.
I am so...
See you later, Flip.
Flip, it was awesome to see you, man. Awesome.
See you on the flippity fly.
Hell yeah. Zod, are you still there?
Yes.
Yeah. I was gonna say, as somebody who had no fucking vested interest in this show, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I gave a fuck one way or the other. I personally found this episode. And maybe this is contradictory to how everyone else feels, but I found it at least entertaining enough to watch. Like, if I was being like Rookie here, who's a 24-hour critic.
Thank you.
If I was being critical, I wouldn't have made it past the first 5 minutes. But here's the thing: I just got done watching a phenomenal first episode of the new Power. Force. I got done watching a great movie, so I went into this in a good mood. And I'm like, oh, riding Rancor. Oh, I'll tell you something. I'm gonna go on camera. I will tell you, I don't give a fuck what anyone says out there because you're all fucking liars. If you didn't think Grogu nestled up next to that fucking Rancor wasn't the fucking cutest thing put on screen, I called my girl into the room and I was like, look. This is shitty and manipulative. I know that. But that's fucking goddamn cute. That is the cutest fucking thing. That's cuter than fucking cats on YouTube and all that other bullshit. When he like missiled up next to him, I go, look, I know logistically like none of this makes sense. But if you're gonna do nonsensical shit, just go for it. Just go for it. Just go balls deep. Who gives a fuck? Your show's fucked. Just throw everything out there. And that's what they did. They rode Rancors. Why? No one's done it. Who gives a fuck? There's a fucking Rancor going through the city. They had that stupid biker gang. They're useless. Give them a Chris Brown spin. Who cares?
I disagree about the Rancor. I was piecing this out with the Rookie where it's like, man, I actually think that was cool. It was just stupid surface level fodder. They didn't do like anything extra with it. They didn't make like a big element. It was just like, look at cool Godzilla Kong shit on screen in Star Wars. And like that was fun. But first of all, Force Unleashed had people riding Rancors, and that was cool as fuck. So if I hear people talk about Lucas era,
Boba Fett could do that.
If I hear
has
people cry
anybody
about
ever
Lucas,
established that he could fucking ride a Rancor? I know a good bit of some of the EU shit. I know all of the extended stuff. And I don't remember ever coming across him taming a Rancor. Like, where the fuck did it come from? Was it in the palace still?
Well, I'll say
let me build on this thread because I was like, well, I think I can piece out why it's underwhelming for you, Rookie, and it's because even though Boba's supposedly a villain or a bad guy, he's a crime lord, which is bad. He's doing good stuff, so he's the hero. He's the protagonist of the show. All right, and he's already got bulletproof, blaster-proof Beskar armor and a jetpack and a rocket launcher and a flamethrower. So he's already like stacked with his own kit. And you're facing an enemy that you're not invested in, aside from Cad Bane. The Pikes are essentially faceless. They're all the same, so we don't have any kind of context of like, I like that Pike, that one's bad, like people or something. You don't have that for them. They're just a faceless horde. And then to beat them, the guy who's already pretty stacked trumps them with like a ridiculous, like over the top Rancor. So it's like you're stacking the deck for this guy when it's already you already got kind of got an even match of like a well armored guy versus a swarm. You know, it's like a Spartan versus Persians, and then it's like, well, let's give the Spartan a freaking elephant. You know,
it's not even just that. It's not even just that. It's that
no stakes.
They spent the time in the episode where he gets the Rancor to go, oh, you got to spend time with them, and they require like nurturing and crap, and then it's like you don't see them until he rampages through the thing with them, and it's like, you know, that would have been interesting to see him try to, you know, figure out how to tame a Rancor anyway. But they don't never show that. That would have been interesting to see him try to not get killed by a Rancor.
That would have been
interesting.
Get
on top of it. And it's like, no, he's just riding it. So to me, there was no like, yay, he's riding a Rancor. It was just like, I guess he's riding a Rancor now. Okay.
But
and then he fight. And then honestly, I thought the Rancor looked bland. Like it just looked so clean. And on this lame setting of just brown and sand, I'm just like, you know, at least if it was like a jungle or a city, there'd be interesting visuals, but there's just no, and he's just fighting a droid thing that's just banging in its shield.
It was underwhelming because we already have the precedent of Luke Skywalker, a Jedi Knight, who's like hit his full potential thus far in the series, going to face the Emperor Invader, and he's getting, you know, taken by a freaking Rancor. So like this like gives you like a power scale, and then it's like
so Boba's just riding this thing, and it's like, oh
no, it's not the riding, it's just like the fight where it's like you didn't see the investment of like taming them, and then a faceless swarm droids. There's no like, ooh, I'm rooting for both sides. There's none of that. It's just you're led to root for this guy. He's stacked, and then he just like insurmountable, you know, odds where it's like, are they going to beat this guy? I don't think so. Yeah, just a lot of cannon fodder. Just a lot of like cool visuals with no stakes and no like risk for these characters.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it for sure.
I mean, my whole feeling was, I said from the beginning, you guys heard me on the channel from the very beginning of this, I was not enthusiastic after the third episode. I give everything 3 episodes, and then it really factors the rest of my judgment for a series, because you could tell a lot by 3 episodes. And this had the same problems it had from the first 3 episodes, which is uneven storytelling, shit that doesn't make sense, coming out of nowhere with no context or explanation for the reason why it's happening. And that's really the story of the show. And I think in theory this works, but on paper they made it very Disney. Like when you look at the kill scenes too, okay, take that one standalone episode, which was just basically Mandalorian season 3, episode 1. If you take that episode where he starts the episode by cutting a dude in half, and then you look at the violence they pull on this one, is like nothing that happens in this even adds up to the whole shit. He just cut somebody in half with the Darksaber. Like that, like it felt, the whole thing felt watered down and kind of kiddish. Yes. And you're doing a show on crime bosses and a man who's supposed to sit. It'd be like if you had Scarface, but he didn't kill anybody and decided to try to be friends. And it didn't do cocaine. He did coke, the drink. That's the equivalent of this show. And I look, we've seen Disney products or Disney shows that weren't necessarily the most like violent, but still be good. So when people are out here like praising this, and to Rob's point, I do see the other end. Like, I don't think it's as atrocious as everybody says it is. I think it's just average. But at the same time, it isn't good either. The writing is not good. The character development doesn't exist. It literally depends on the Mandalorian and Grogu being there to get people's, to get their nostalgia pulled. But there's no substance behind any of it. You learn nothing about Boba Fett. You learn nothing about the Pikes. You learn nothing about where the fuck Cad Bane has been. You learn nothing. I learned nothing. I don't know
Except the
anything
Tusken
new
Raiders.
that I
Except
didn't
the
know.
Tusken Raiders. You know about them.
I
You
learned that
about
from
that.
Clone Wars.
Right. Okay. Well, I was going to say this. The reason why, which would have been great if he was said, you know what, I got to get revenge. It was Solo, Skywalker. I got to find him. I'll tell you why. Because they made the sequel trilogy first. So how can he go after Solo and Skywalker if they already sealed their fate, right? I mean, how would they do that? And everybody's mad anyway because no one liked that other guy playing Solo. So that's another issue. Who's going to play Solo? How are we going to have him go after him? We already know his fate, what's going to happen. So that's the problem. They've got to play within the spectrum. Yes, it would make sense, all the sense in the world for him to go looking for Han Solo. He hates Han Solo. He can't stand the guy. The comic books, even they had him. It's funny. It was a comic book years and years ago before I even did YouTube. And I remember it. He gets saved out of the Scarlet Pit. But this time the Jawas don't steal his armor. They help him. They put him in the Sandcrawler. And I forget why, but Solo's there also. And like Boba doesn't remember anything because he was so messed up from just getting out of there. So he's like, oh, and then he remembers who he is and he wants to kill him. But then Han gets out or something happens and he goes back into the pit again, which is hysterical. I laughed about it. It was so funny. It was so funny.
God, it's so creatively bankrupt.
It becomes a game. I'll get you next time, Solo.
Did he get knocked in by Han again?
And so I remember that comic, and I was like, "Oh crap, he got out! Oh crap, he doesn't even know who Han is." Wait, and then he finds out who Han is, and he's like, "Oh no!" And the thing goes out of control and goes right into the Sarlacc pit with him in it. And Solo gets out of the Sandcrawler in time, or something like that. I vaguely remember it, but it was a funny.
Rob's watching this show at the beginning. He crawls out of Sarlacc pit, and you're just thinking, "Oh crap, when's he gonna fall back in?"
Yeah.
That would have been funny if he's like, whoa, 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 and like
that would have been funny if they took the battle to the Sarlacc pit in this last episode or something, and it's
and he falls back in. Oh my god,
he falls back in to set up the next series or some shit. I don't know,
dude. I would tell you if we went with Rob's idea and he fell back in, this episode would be a 10 out of 10. I'd be like, hey, it was a shaky start, but for that fucking ending,
I'm a big Maul fan. I get that it's like really, really stretching it to bring him back in Clone Wars, but I love it. But that'd be funny if he popped out of the Sarlacc pit with Boba Fett.
Go.
No, he sets up a base inside the Sarlacc pit now.
Oh my god!
He makes his new Boba Fett hideout in the Sarlacc pit. Like I'm gonna start from my roots.
I'm going to kill the Sarlacc pit.
He kills the Sarlacc, but he like turns that into his base, the underground, and I don't know. Like every time he enters the thing, he has to, just drop in there, and when he comes out, he needs his jetpack to go out every time. Like anybody that needs to leave or enter.
This would be amazing because Lucas, a big inspiration for Star Wars was like his feelings about American imperialism in the Vietnam War. So you could totally channel that and have Boba be a Charlie in his fucking tunnels. Like, we was looking for Charlie.
You know what? It is crazy. Half of the ideas we just said were way better than this whole entire fucking show. Like, if they took any one of our ideas, I guarantee you, I don't give a shit who you are. I don't know a Star Wars fan out there that wouldn't be like, well, it was fucking ridiculous, but I liked it.
Yeah,
they should have had Jerry Seinfeld show run this shit and just do like
I'm surprised they didn't have
Seinfeld.
I seriously thought when they had the Scorpion droids come in that the Jawas were gonna like just swarm the Scorpion droids and take it down or something. Like,
here's another thing I didn't understand. Like the droid thing is a machine, right? So a machine should have pretty good accuracy. I would figure. How would you make a machine that can't hit? It's not a stormtrooper.
They don't have any aiming. They just shoot things randomly.
Has no aiming. Just shoot the ground. Shoot buildings. Everybody's running. There's a whole pack of you. So first off, why didn't they all separate? All right, because now if everybody separates and goes down somewhere else and climbs up a building, the thing can't follow everybody. No, let's all stay as a pack and run the same way. I mean, you know, you're playing a game and you're the droid, you'd be shooting missiles and wiping out like 20, 30 people. So that annoyed me. It's like the A-Team or, you know, no one gets shot, or G.I. Joe or something like that back in the day. Like no one gets shot, 1,000 bullets go and no one gets hit, which is ridiculous. That annoyed me. You know, and then here's another thing I don't like. Okay, I think these droidicas on steroids, whatever you want to call them, like in the Clone Wars, right? They teach. I remember Ahsoka Tano and Anakin is teaching, like, hey, if you throw a grenade at a certain way, you know, it'll go through the shield. Yeah,
that's from the movie, the Clone Wars movie.
Right. So I don't understand why they didn't do something like that. You know, and I couldn't figure out. Like, wait a minute, you know. They used to do that. Like your body can go through the shield, but the laser couldn't. Now
that's what I was saying. I was like, don't they just need to run into it and then they're fine? I was also thinking this. So I thought of many things. So many things came into my mind as soon as they saw the stupid droids. I was like, one, why didn't you fucking start with that? Just start with those, because then you wouldn't have lost half your forces. And then another thing is you're spice traders, of which spice in the movies and shows haven't really shown why it's bad. It's just they just say it's bad, even though I don't fucking know how it's bad. And then it's like, and it's on Tatooine, and then it's like, why do these spice traders need these scorpion things? I don't get that. Like, why do you need these things to help run your spice craft? Do they protect anything, or like what? We haven't seen these before. Like, why are they here now? Like, did they come with them in the city? Like on the bus? Did they come with them on the bus, or were they already on the planet? Like,
well, they're probably in the ship. You know, like you know, if you're gonna run something, right? You know, the way to have it is overpowering, right? Like the Empire. The Empire had their stormtroopers, then they had their specialized characters, the bike troopers, the scout troopers. You have all sorts of your troopers, and then you have these monstrosities that overpower, like the Death Star. Okay, you don't want to do what I want? I'll blow your planet up. You know, I'll bring the AT-AT walkers to your town. You know, so when you have these, you know, big intimidating thing, it's intimidation. It's intimidation. Like if you went up against a lion. It's you crap your pants, you know.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
that's when I try to think that not like, listen, I could rip every show apart. I could rip every movie apart. I really can. There's so many things you think that like, oh God, really? Like this is really gonna happen. You could rip anything apart. You really can. But I try not to do that anymore because then it ruins the entire movie. I could rip Endgame apart, and every movie I could think of.
That was really easy to rip apart. Honestly,
I could rip apart so many movies. Like like Endgame. Quick example. Oh yeah, I just got rid of the glove. Like what? You got rid of one of the most powerful things in the world where you can do anything, and you got like why? It's just so stupid.
It sounded like a meme. He's like,
but you see, Rob, I see
the stones.
I feel like the point is like, I think it's good to still try to rip away at stuff, because the way that how we find the better films in that thing is how much can you rip away from those compared to that's how you find the quality. It's like, okay, in Lord of the Rings, there's probably, if you were to really try to find some flaws, there's probably like a couple peelings of something, but that would still show that it's still really good because of how little it is, or how little the peels affect the rest of the story or something. In comparison to stuff like this, where you can just spend all day going, oh, this was dumb, this was dumb, this was dumb, this was dumb, and then it kind of shows the quality. I'd say is revealed with the bottom. And then it's
the bottom line is it was entertaining. It wasn't the best masterpiece. There was a lot of flaws to it. There was things, but again, like I said, this was supposed to be done 2 years ago. And the problem with Disney is they have one person direct and tell a story, and then like, okay, you're fired. I don't like the direction you're going. So now someone else comes in with that story and said, well, let's do this, and let's try that, and let's twist this, and and that's what keeps happening.
Well, like when you have how many people directed episodes in the show? There was directors,
like when the sequel trilogy. What's wrong with the thing? There was no plan, right? So one guy's trying to retcon his movie, and then and he comes back again because he's so pissed off. He doesn't want to tell everybody, but he's so angry. He's like, no, screw you. This was my bad guy. This was you killed him off. So he comes back and he retcons his crap. So when you have that, he's sitting there in the theater like, what the hell, man?
I feel like that was the formula for this show as well, because they introduce characters and then do nothing with any of them. They're like, here's the Hutts. They're going to be cool. And Chris Anthem, and then next episode, it's like all stupid. And then,
what Rookie's saying with the Hutts. All right, this is the stupid writing. All right, so the Hutts send Black Chrysanthemum to kill him. Now you don't know. They can clarify or whatever, but they have the liberty of saying like, oh, it was that night they sent them, and they're here the next day, or they can say, well, it took like 2 weeks, whatever, sending them out to when they came there. But as far as they show it, it's like they send them that night, and then the next day they're already coming saying, we're out of here. The Pikes scare us. Here's a gift saying sorry because we already knew Black Chrysanthemum couldn't kill you. Like, that's the writing.
No, Angus, this is also the writing. I put this in the thumbnail because if it wasn't for the Hutts saved Boba Fett because they gave him the stupid Rancor. Right. And without the Rancor, they don't have any finale battle thing here.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's a good point.
The Hutts saved his ass, and they gave him Chrysanthemum, and it's like, wow, I guess the Hutts just fucked off, and I don't know, like if it wasn't for that, I guess then you'd have been really screwed.
Someone riddle me this. I watched that stupid fucking post-credit scene. Who the fuck is that black dude with the thing on his hand that everybody's making a big deal?
He was like in episode 4, I think, in like a flashback.
He helped.
Who is he? I don't know who he is. I
don't either.
I don't know.
I think he's Will.i.am. I think that's who it is.
No, I know who the person is. He's
Space Will.i.am.
But why is it such a? Why did like? Oh my god!
So hold on. So Fennec, in Ming-Na Wen.
My future wife. Yes,
apparently Boba took him to a tattoo cyberpunk shop, and then instead of medical treatment, just had them make her a stomach or something that was mechanical, which was honestly that was one of the lamest concepts I've seen. I think it's also like you need medical help, not engineering help. It's a little different, and so she gets augmented with like a stomach thing, and that's where you see that guy. And he's probably he's probably the guy who cyberpunked the crew, the little biker Power Ranger crew.
Yeah.
At the end? Why is that a reveal?
No. The reveal was that the red cowboy is alive still.
Yeah, Cobb Vanth is still alive. He's in the Bacta tank.
That's the next show, the Book of Cobb.
So you know what? I would watch Timothy Oliphant or whatever the fuck his last name. I would watch Timothy Oliphant read a fucking phone book because he's 10 times more charismatic than anybody in this fucking show.
He's awesome. I gotta say,
he's got some real Sheriff Woody charisma. I love it.
Yeah, and I loved. I know a lot of people. I don't know how they felt, but I loved Woody Harrelson as Solo. I thought he was. Unbelievable.
As Solo?
Unbelievable.
No.
Woody's no. In the movie.
Yeah. The character was all right.
His character was really, really good. I mean, I thought it was fantastic. So
Rob, you almost trapped me there because I was gonna go, hey, wait, Woody Harrelson's playing Solo?
That's what I
give it a go.
That would be hilarious. He comes in with the wig like, hey, I'm on Solo.
When he was younger, he was balding, of course.
In the movie, he played great. Beckett, I loved it. I love to see Beckett and Cobb go at it. I think that.
Did Beckett live?
Awesome. Well, apparently, listen. Look, if you saved the screenshot, okay, he got hit in the shoulder. He did not get hit in the chest. He didn't get hit in the head.
Said that he probably survived.
He got hit in the shoulder, and I was like, okay, he's not dead.
Kill him. Why would they bring him in?
Yeah, so he just quickly shot him, and the way he talked was like he was directing it at Cobb Vanth also. Like he didn't go to kill him. He went to kill his deputy because his deputy was an idiot. But which was
like the way
that was my favorite scene in this whole show.
His deputy was an idiot.
Was the best.
Like why did you kill my deputy? He was kind of dumb. Did you see how he was when we were trying to do a duel?
He could have been a cool character. He had the look. He had the whole Wild West look. He could have been a really awesome character. But he's like, get in. No, I'm gonna come out. I'm not gonna listen to you. Okay, get shot, dumbass. I told you stay in, stupid. And Cad Bane didn't go to kill him. Cad Bane went to send a message. That was his point. His point wasn't to kill Cobb Vanth. It was to send a message to his people like, hey, look, I could take out your leader, who's the best. I could take you all out. So listen to me. Stay out of our way. Let us do our thing, and we'll leave you alone. That was the message. It was plain and simple. But you know, people were pissed off and like, hey, you're gonna do that to my boy. You ain't gonna do that to my boy. We're gonna come in and start trouble. You know, that's what I got from it.
No, you're right. No, it's funny. Like, you know, he seemed like an okay character. I haven't seen Mando season 2, so I have no idea what else he does. But I was like, he seems all right from what I've seen, I guess. But I honestly don't care if I see him ever again. And I would have actually gave them props if they killed him, especially if people liked them.
I liked him a lot.
I would have given them more props if they killed him, but I don't even think that Cad Bane's dead because, you know.
I hope not, because
like,
the thing was blinking.
There's been more evidence that other people have been killed and they still come back to life anyway. So honestly, I would not be shocked at all.
I wish they would have just had Cad Bane. Oh God, man. Cad Bane. Listen to me, Cad Bane. Just have him say, "Hey, listen, you know what? I don't got any work. You got anything for me? You know, let him join. Let him join and let him go on missions."
What if he was trying to make his own little legion of something to rival Boba Fett?
He could have, or since Boba was rounding up all the bounty hunters, they could have had a whole bounty hunters guild. You know, he had Shand and he had the Wookiee.
The thing I liked, and people would have only got this connection, like I said, because this is a terribly explained show. Cad Bane and Bobo could have never worked together because of what happened in Clone Wars. In Clone Wars, young Boba Fett screwed over Cad Bane, and there's this cool line.
I don't remember.
They have a duel when he's like a kid, and he almost beat Cad Bane because he like set up traps and shit. And then Cad looks at him and he goes, "Son, you're not old enough yet." But he goes, "I respect you, you know, basically for wanting to fuck me over, because that's what bounty hunters do." He's like, "Don't trust anybody," and kind of fucks off and leaves him. So that whole rivalry was Cad Bane was one of the people who trained Boba Fett. And that's canon. That was in the Clone Wars. He trained Boba Fett along with 2 other bounty hunters in everything that he knows. And that was the reference when he said, "I could have killed you twice now." They had another duel later, and that's the ding in the helmet.
Yes, I heard about that.
I felt no weight. I don't remember that, but I didn't feel any of that kind of weight in this.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I was just like, I guess he shot him in the shoulder here, like, but even Boba Fett, like he shot him and then he shot him again, and then Boba Fett just kind of tripped him with the gaffy stick, and
this is what I was trying to find.
I was just like, okay, and hey, what's up, Cherry?
Boba Fett says, I don't work, or I don't negotiate with gutless murderers. And then Cad Bane says, "If that's not the Quacta calling the Stifling slimy."
Yes.
What the fuck? Like, we have no reference.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like trying to say, like, that's not the pot calling the kettle black, but it's like, we got to make it Star Wars.
Yes.
No one in Star Wars uses a fucking pot, despite Rey already being established, like making a fucking MRE in her.
At least he didn't make a bantha joke, I guess, because that would have been kind of dumb.
Like
bantha. You know. But no, it's funny to look at the show in retrospect. It's like, you know, if you were to come to me with an idea, like, you know, I had no interest in the show at all, and I thought Boba Fett, I didn't care about seeing anything with him beyond his death. Really, like, you know, he's dead. I don't care. But okay, you know, if you're gonna push me to write something, I'd be like, okay, he gets out of the pit. And, you know, they could have the events if you know, if the Disney staff's on board with whatever. Okay, he gets stripped from the Jawas. Okay, they steal shit. And then Tuskens enslave him for a bit. And, okay, they want us to, they really want to show Tuskens being good somehow. Well, then he's got to somehow, like, convince them to not kidnap people and make them slaves all the time. Like, that'd be a good start. And then, you know, then you could sort of make some kind of sense about it. And then, like, if he's like, okay, I want to, you know, see where I'm at, and, you know, see what I can do. My old employer's dead. I can't bounty hunt forever. You know, how can I make a name for myself? How can I do something? Maybe he's got goals that go beyond Tatooine. Maybe he does have other things that he wants to do, but he's going to start. Okay, the Empire's gone, and the New Republic's, you know, still running around. The remnants of the Empire still doing things. There's a lot of, like, power struggling on Tatooine. You know, maybe he can, you know, try to make his mark here on the outskirts, and then, you know, try to wave his way back into the galaxy or something. And, you know, you start with taking out Tuna's area, and with the help from Fennec or something. And then, you know, maybe there's like, I would assume on Tatooine, there's still entertainment. So there'd probably be gladiator rings, right? You know, different types of things that attract dangerous people out in the outskirts. And you could have had something interesting start here. And eventually run into Mando again or something, or at the beginning have Mando around and be like, hey, can you go visit a few of these people, and have him send Mando out, when he has a chance to, see some other bounty hunter allies or something else, so that he can get some contacts to bring here, some resources or something.
Well, that's why I thought if he started a guild, like Mando was doing at one point, I thought that would be cool. Because Mando's a bounty hunter. He has Finnick Shan. He has the Wookiee, the Black Chrysanthemum, or whatever his name is. And
he's got Chrysanthemum.
Yeah. And if you have Cad Bane, he's got a whole guild of bounty hunters, right? So now, not only is he controlling Tatooine, and he's taking over as the new Lord, Boba Fett, and getting his name out there. Now he's got a bunch of bounty hunters for hire. So now he's got another, and to me, like, how you survive in life, it's not 9 to 5 and you have a great life. That's not how it works. If you have different ways of making money, so now he's got the town, he's got the planet, people are scared of him, people know what he can do, he's got the people with him, and now all of a sudden he's got a bounty hunters guild, right? So now he can go out there and hire these guys, and they go out and do the job. So I was like, what? Then he could expand, go to season 2,
See,
start hunting people.
I was saying, that's kind of what I was saying. Not so much to the bounty hunter part, but to the, taking control of some planets that the remnants of the Empire don't have full control of anymore. Or the New Republic hasn't seized yet, and it's like he can't challenge the New Republic or anything, but maybe he can have enough of a force to like make them fuck off.
Well, he could do what Darth Maul did. Remember how Darth Maul in the Clone Wars, he couldn't take on the big forces, right? So he was starting his own criminal underworld.
Well, kind of like that. Better, though. I was more referring to like in the prequels, like they have the Republic that's like, we're not going out to Tatooine. Fuck that. Like, they don't want to. Like that's kind of what I mean. Like if he can reestablish, in some of those sectors and some planets, be like, okay, you don't want, Republic and old Empire, don't you mess with me, because I got my own shit here now. That would be cool to see that journey of him.
I agree.
One taking over, starting with Tatooine for season 1, and then like you can do another planet for season 2 or a couple of them, and you can cut back and forth between Mando and what he's doing or something to help build. And like Mando's doing his own thing, but also helping Boba do some of his stuff.
Well, Mando's got to go. Don't forget, he's got to go back to Mandalore, right? He has the dark
but that's
saber.
Gone. That's
right,
destroyed.
but he's going to help Bo-Katan, because she's on a mission, and I'm sure he's going to go help fight her cores and whatever. I think that's
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. That's the woman that was. Oh, you didn't see episode 2. She wanted the dark saber. She was in Star Wars Rebels. She was given the dark saber, so she was given it. She didn't win it in war.
Was that the weird?
The one with the short red hair,
spunky chick, and that was on the little Rebels team in the Rebels.
No, that was Sabine Wren. Sabine Wren. Bo-Katan is a Mandalorian. It was the Death Watch, and then there was the Mandalorian.
Was she the sister to Obi-Wan's lover or something?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yes. So he's got to go help her. I know, because she was asking, you could join us, and he's like, well, I got some unfinished business. But now he's done what he had to do, right? He's helped Boba Fett out. He's got his new spaceship. He's got Grogu back. So now I think it's when they start season 3. He's going to go help her. I think that's how they're going to start it, because he's got the dark saber now. So I'm sure they'll find some Mandalorians.
No, he's going to deal with spice on another planet for no reason. They set this shit up, and then they're just going to drop it and be like, "Oh, spice, man! Spice has decimated the Mandalorians.
You're not allowed to cook on Tatooine. We don't like you to take. You don't like food to taste good on Tatooine. No spice allowed."
See, now, if here's the thing. With Boba, right? Like he keeps mentioning, I'm old, I don't want to do it anymore.
Even though hold on, this is supposed to be only 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Right.
Shouldn't be that old. He was in his prime not that long ago.
But he was around.
Here's the big miss.
How old was he? How old would he be? Do you guys know? If he was,
he was like what? He was like 10ish in the Attack of the Clones, and I don't know how much time you go by to Return of the Jedi, but. That's he should be in his 30s or 40s. Not that old. Not like he's 60.
Yeah, he ages normally.
Yeah. He doesn't age doubly bits. Zod, how old's Boba around the time of the show here?
I would say in the Clone Wars he was a kid.
He's like 10 or something in that time.
So just go forward 35 years. He's like 45.
Yeah, he's like 45. But he's getting up there. I mean, in bounty hunter years, that's like 100.
I know,
And
but
plus-
it's like in general, he acts like I'm an old man. I can
But
barely
he-
do anything.
But here's the thing too. There comes a point in time when power takes over your mind. Like, I'm tired of working for people. You know,
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I
Don't
should
wanna
be in
rule.
charge. Heck with it. He's dead. Well, I'm going to be the new lord. I'm going to take over. People are going to listen to me. So, you know, sometimes that's the way I took it. Like, hey, look, you're nothing, Bib Fortuna. You did get out of my face. You know,
You're nothing.
you know, and he just, to me, he just want, you know, when you're the boss, you don't do the work. You send people to do the work for you.
Yeah, but
you
you
don't
gotta,
do the
you gotta
work.
work your way up to the boss level, though, too.
Well,
you don't just go. I kill him now. I'm the boss. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
He's heartless. Remember that. He like
I know, but I'm saying
he's a
that
stone
doesn't,
cold
that
killer.
doesn't,
He doesn't
that doesn't
care.
earn the trust of people. Is what I'm saying.
Well, that's what he did. That's what he. Listen, he's not so much of a good guy. You know, they might play it that way, but he's a ruthless killer. You know, he does
Based on
what
the
he had to
show. I don't understand how he trusts anybody to do anything. He seems to put a lot of faith in everybody.
Well, you know, I think that when your name is out there, you know, people hear your name. They're like, he hit Darth Vader. You don't need to confront the guy. You're like, you know who he is. You know, so
Most
I think
people think he's dead though. So that's, I don't know how much his name really holds at that point.
Well, if he's back alive in your face, you got to be sitting there like. Shit,
but again, he's mostly just on Tatooine. This is where all my thing goes to. It's like I don't know.
It's gonna expand. You know, he's conquered Remember, you got to conquer one area to go to another.
I'm just saying based on what they've shown is all I'm saying. Just based on what they've shown.
I know, but don't read too much into it. You know, trust me.
Well, I know our own imaginations are better than what they can write. I know, but
that's true. That's God. That's true. Rookie, me, you, and Angus and Zod should have wrote the show. We would have probably done better.
Well, like an element I never thought of in association with Boba was Django and the impact he left.
Right.
Aside from like the death, where he wears the armor, that's kind of the extent of it that the general public would go with from the films. And I didn't think about like, well, he's going on missions. He leaves Boba behind a lot of times on Camino. And they tease that element, and it's like,
yes,
what a miss that they never like de-aged Tamora a bit to look like episode 2 and have like a Django moment, or have have the kid play Django or whatever.
They could have had, if they had flashbacks instead of the Tuskens. I would have rather they shown him and Django.
No, I'm fine with
father
Tuskens.
son.
They should have added.
I know.
Django.
I'm just saying Django and him doing, you know, like they could have had them doing a little adventure thing in the past, and that could help. That could help with something that he's doing in the present, you know, if they tied something together, and that could help with why he's doing anything he's doing now. But we don't get much of that.
I mean, I think it's just open for interpretation. You know, I think again, it's not great writing. You know, I think this was a rush job. I think they should have took more time on it. I think that's the problem with them. They're trying to put it too much. Again, they're going. You know, first I was like, we got to slow down and we got to think about it. Okay, yeah, I get it, because you should. You went too fast. You didn't have a plan. You just wanted a cash grab. We get it. So now put out something, but give us good writing. And I think that now, oh, here's Obi-Wan, here's Ahsoka, here's the like. Whoa,
they want to just drill you. They don't want you to go a full 2 months without.
They're going the JJ route, like Force Awakens or Rise of Skywalker. It's like this happens and this happens and this happens and this happens and this happens, and it's like, but when you actually slow down, it's like, wow, this is shit.
Yeah,
and it's not that bad. Besides this episode,
it can be mistaken for fun. Yeah,
but
hey, here's a funny concept. How about you take a character no one's heard of, and then you take a complete asshole character who kills a main character in a movie, and you give him his own show, and it turns out to be awesome. Oh wait, that's on HBO Max, and that's Peacekeeper. A character that no one knew about is better written and more developed than a character we have years of lore and knowledge on.
Dude,
I'm
not
just
even
saying
that. Polka Dot Man from the Suicide Squad. James Gunn literally looked up
Polka Dot Man. Who got teary-eyed when that
James
dude
Gunn
died? I was like, oh,
stupidest Batman character. And he's like, oh, let's try to make that good. And it's like, holy shit, he's got this whole depth of like he sees everyone as his mom because he's fucking crazy.
That's the worst curse you gotta have.
Yeah,
No.
It's like he can never go, unless he's a weirdo, he can never just go on a date because he's got this warped mind. You know, the fucking shark, like everyone's his mom. Like Starro was his mom.
Even the shark was like, I don't know anything about him or anything. Didn't seem interesting, but the kid's like, oh man, you kind of feel bad for the little guy. It's like, oh, he's just a shark dude thing.
Yeah, he's like, he thought he had friends. They're just trying to kill him,
and they try to eat him.
Poor Sharky,
dude, no. And
this is what we're saying, Rob. Is like,
on the bar.
They have talent in Hollywood to make you care about no one. They make you care about Groot, who literally says, "I am Groot" for 2 hours.
No, then the raccoon. I felt more sad for the raccoon because, like, no, you lost your best friend, and he's last his kind, and no, man, you little guy.
Yeah,
no.
like you don't got to do a lot to tease out these fan favorites that are just kind of bullshit tertiary characters, and that's what's crazy. And it's like it's very clear. Like you're talking about criticism, how it can like undercut everything. And I agree to a point, but ultimately, I think you got a lot of people like Ryan Johnson that somehow worked their way into Hollywood, and they never shop their work to like actual scrutiny. They're just buddies with whoever, and they get a pass.
Like they've made projects with their
Die
friends.
Hard or writes
like
John Wick.
They've
or
made projects
Predator.
with their friends, but they never like had an audience to critique it or something. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, they're in. And like Rodriguez, that was the weirdest pick, Rodriguez, because he did the most simple Mandalorian episode in season 2 with Boba Fett coming back. And it's like, oh, people liked the images of Boba Fett on screen with no real context. Let's give him a whole show. It's like, why? Why did you give it to Rick Famuyiwa?
I mean, I would have rather seen Bill Burr just because he can hold himself on screen, and I don't even know anything about his character really, but I enjoyed the little bit of him that I saw so far. It was like, man, he can be witty and funny, and then also like get serious really quick, and be like, yeah, we're having fun. What the fuck are you doing? It's like, oh man, he's not liking that. Okay, and he does not like Mando when he's teasing him. Are you fucking gun under there? Like that's like that was all right. That was they kind of got me to like that guy a little bit, I'll admit. And I don't know. I don't have much more to say, honestly. It's just I feel like at this point it's just circling the bases of that was kind of a poopy show, and things could have been better.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I got done. I watched a show that I had low expectations for and found it 20 times more entertaining than this show. And once again, anybody who watches this, check out Amazon's Prime Reacher because that needs another fucking season. That show is fucking amazing. Look, this is one of the lines in it. And out of context, it sounds stupid. But the way it's delivered makes it classic. So Reacher goes in, right? He's got to get information from this guy. And the guy's looking at him, and he's like, threatens him. He basically threatens him. No, this dude's fucking huge, Angus, but like he looks military. And he goes to him. He's like, either you can give me the names I'm looking for, or I can hand you all of your teeth. And the dude's like, I can ruin your life with one phone call. And he looks at him and goes, I could kill you with one phone. And he strangles him with the fucking cord. Now, that and it's cheesy 80s fucking machismo fucking corniness. But the way it's delivered, the way the scene's structured, the way they zoom in on the phone, and then you just see him like beeline it and wrap this cord around the dude's neck. It's all fucking good. You can have cheesy shit and still make it work.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
That's Willy's Wonderland for you. That's Willy's Wonderland for you. Very cheesy, but it works, and it's like this is still funny. You're like, okay,
I'm reading the comics right now. It's funny.
The Willy Wonderland comic. Yeah,
dude, I never thought I'd see a movie where Nicolas Cage doesn't talk and still has more screen presence than Boba Fett.
Yeah, and the way he doesn't talk is still Cage-like, but without words. It's interesting.
Yeah, that scene where he's fucking playing pinball, that is by far like that's cinematic masterpiece right there. That is masterclass acting. I'm not just saying that because I have a love for Nick Cage.
Nicolas Cage crush, yeah. But
hey, the man is a fucking treasure. But anyways, I gotta get going because my girl's here and she's giving me the evil eye. But thank you for having me on. This show fucking sucked. Husky, I hate you
than the pink
for
eye.
making me watch this.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, I'll be watching Breaking Bad sometime soon.
Yes.
You know, I kind of want to. Angus always references it, and now after seeing how lame Star Wars attempts to do spice crap, I want to see like a real one that actually can do something decent with it.
Hey,
so that's on
Rob,
my list.
while you're watching, my Twitter got nuked. We've lost touch, going different ways and stuff, but this is fun. So hit me up on Twitter at Meth Live, or just Meth Gator. That's the handle, because that was for Meth Gator.
You'll probably find the tag on Twitter somewhere. But yeah, his phone died while he's talking, and Zod just had to head out for that, and Flip had to go a little bit ago with stuff. So yeah, we I don't know, Angus, if you had more you wanted to comment on with it. I mean, I feel like I said mostly what I want to say. I mean, all I can think of is that like I did think of like there's so much interesting ways that they could have started.
I can make a fucking Mauler video out of this one episode.
I know what you mean, right? I'm like, man, in a way, as much as I'm detached, this at least does get me wanting to talk about like storytelling, like what they had and what they could have done and everything.
Gets you
and
back in like that early fandom menace era where it's like, this is why this fucking movie sucks.
Yeah, kind of a little bit. It's like now that the context is done and people can't go, well, there's still more episodes. You don't know. It's like now we do.
This is worse than Last Jedi in a way, and that is right from like probably 10 minutes into Last Jedi. It's like, oh god. And it just kept spiraling with every setup we were interested in. Like, oh no. And then you had the throne room series, like, oh, now we're getting real Star Wars. And it's like, oh, never mind. And then after that, and then you have the whole rebels fighting their clunkers against the Empire or the fake imp, whatever, First Order. And it was just like narrative gut punch after it was just like you saw it pretty early on, so you're just watching a train wreck. But this one, it's like, regardless how you felt about the way we got here, it's like, all right, there's things to pay off. And how are they going to tie us in? You've had these cameos. What is the purpose? And they did nothing with it. You got Chris Brown spinning.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's like you give like a person, like a waiter, like a glass tray and like full of priceless things on there, and then he just drops it. Like instead of being careful, it's like, not fuck it. It's like, oh.
Yeah, okay. It's like I already like the bar is like generally so low of like, and you've gotten goodwill from Mando, and this is tied to it. And then, with the lackluster overall feelings, then with those last two, you got like everyone on board, or even people that are like, fuck it, it's Disney, but that's cool, but it turns into Last Jedi eventually. Where it's like they still got to recognize this is cool shit in the moment, even if they're so disgruntled. That's good, like getting people back in, and then you do this shit. It's going to make people that anybody that might have had second thoughts is going to scatter now. Doomcock even put out a video. I know, I love it. He's fractured.
This was so damn bad, and no, it's bad. I don't care about Star Wars anymore. It's like, yeah, that's what this did. That's
good.
What it is.
Get the fuck out. Fuck
it's
you.
It's done this.
Well, no, he's so mad. He won't say it. He's so mad because this totally unravels his bullshit that he's been spinning for like 3 years now, preying on people's hopes. And now, like, with all his confirmation through the show, and that was already confirmed with all these aspects, like Baby Yoda's Force Hill was an Easter egg for what would happen like a week later in Force.
It's all to prop. It's to make it all not look as bad.
There's all these things that have already confirmed, like right from the start. The first thing we got released was Favreau talking about Jango Fett and Boba Fett. Now I got the Mandalorian dealing with with the rising New Republic in the First Order. So it's like, that is a thing. This is no retcon. Where did you get this bullshit from? It was never there to start with. This was always in context of what was made before and fitting it in. And yeah, so it's like, I mean, that's the huge silver lining for me, is like, maybe now this guy's fucking little empire of preying on people will collapse, because finally you got, I mean, there's still some retards that are like still like no, like this doesn't confirm anything. The retcon's still happening, you know. They're just willingly blind at this point. But this will really, you know, you're already telling me all these people see his stuff and they're already like, I don't know, I think this is fake, you know, like half his audience is like not agreeing with him anymore. But now it's like this really chops it down, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, well, and even like just in general, like people that were like, well, they might do okay. They might do okay. They're having Luke back. They're having Baby Yoda and Mando and all these things, and you know, it could still, you know, turn out great. It's like, I don't know. I mean,
you'll see them next week when they release the Super Bowl Obi-Wan trailer. Be like, oh, this will retcon Rey's Force vision where she hears Obi-Wan, and like he'll spin some yarn. He's gonna get back into the well, but this really delegitimizes him.
This is funny. Rob brings up something I brought up many times. So yeah, Rob, I agree. When he kills Bibford Tuna, like Tuna has a lot of people that works for him, but when he gets killed, I guess there's only like 2 guys left. So they just all disappeared, kind of like the Knife and TLJ. I guess I don't know. They're all gone. No reason, no rhyme.
There was one thing I might make a video just about this topic, or I might rope it into this video idea I got that'll take a long time. Sure. But Disney Star, like this is where the agenda comes in, all right? So like when the episode with Gina Carano was coming out, the first episode of her, I made a video, got a lot of like boom, it just blew up, but I removed it right after I saw the episode. I'm like, oh fuck, I was wrong. Like you know, I'm just not dealing with this. Fuck it. Because they're like, yeah, you're wrong. It's like, I don't care. Fuck off. But when Gina Carano's coming in, not knowing anything about her, I was like, oh god, here comes the woke. And you know, there's some arguing about her power set versus what we've seen established with Mando at that point, but wasn't bad. And she became a good like tool in the shed, or however you want to put it, for the show. And in season 2 at the end with Luke Skywalker reveal, it's like Mando and all these chicks, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's going to go woke. And then Luke Skywalker saves his ass. But I thought it was going to be like Avengers Endgame, where they have like that girl power moment where it's like, don't worry, we got her covered.
We got it, ladies.
They set it up where it's like, I'm just like dreading. I'm like, no, feminism. It's so obvious. Like, and they didn't. But ultimately, like Finn and Rey were very clear chemistry in episode 7, and there's a clear sexual interest from Finn for sure. But of course, Rey's got to be an independent woman, and on top of it, he's black, and they can't sell that shit to China. So they just put him in the corner where he belongs. And
wouldn't that be funny if they made a Finn show like about him on the First Order? And
but yeah, and then of course you have episode 8 with obvious feminist shit with Holdo and Leia what's the word? Is it demasculating?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Emasculating, yeah.
Yeah, emasculating Poe Dameron and stuff, and Luke having a heroic moment turn out to just be a hologram. Like all these things that undercut male heroism and male dominance and assertion.
You better pipe down, flyboy.
Yeah. All this stuff talking down to men, this whole like feminist workplace allegory.
In other words, Ryan Johnson's fantasy, but yeah.
Yeah, and then in this show, it's not as egregious, but like Fennec Shan is like doing everything for Boba. It's not in
the last episode, she did all the talking, so he can just
it's not even that like it's not like Moses in the Bible. People don't know this because of the way the film's portrayed, but Moses sucked talking. Aaron, his like cousin, whatever, was his mouthpiece to the people.
Yeah, see, no, I agree. That would actually be fine. Like if they implied that like Boba's already kind of talked a lot of the shit out with her, and it's like, she's just delivering it to the public, so he can just stand there and not have to do anything. That'd be fine.
Yeah, like he's worked it out to like delegating. Like they never distinguish that. It's like he's always like, let's do this, and she's like, no, let's do this. And he's like, right, let's do that. And it's like always undercutting his, like, the fucking show's his name. And they always undercut it. And then when you think Boba Fett, you don't understand how much time's passed. You think Boba Fett is going ham, murdering these Pikes, exacting revenge, and it turns out, oh, it's Fennec Shand. When like they even have like the rope choke the mare.
We didn't even talk about that.
That's the thing is like
it's just so lame.
It's not obviously woke, but it's enough there where it's like we've seen this track record and Hollywood in general track record for the last 5+ years.
Those check marks almost.
And so it's like, of course, they undercut the male protagonist with the woman doing something cooler,
Yeah, he couldn't kill them himself because that'd make him look more baddish. But she can because she's cool and badass and a woman.
Yeah, and like in the episode where they bring her in and he fixes her and stuff and he gets his ship back, it's like all the action, like he does the Super Elmer Fudd chase. She gets like the cool like pew pew moments while Boba's like, oh, I can't turn this ship because of blah blah blah. You need to open the door, Fennec Shand.
I'm surprised she didn't write in on the Rancor, to be honest.
Yeah, it was just.
Where was Danny Trejo in the fight?
Yeah, it wasn't completely egregious. I'm not going to make like woke, but like it's enough.
Yeah, but it's enough. There's enough warning flags. Some flags still going off. Like, ooh, our Spidey sense of wokeness is tingling a little with
exactly.
And then
I don't like that. I want to watch Star Wars.
Same with the biker chick. Just her comment of, well, yeah, you can go be safe in your tower while we try to protect the people.
Yeah, always undercutting the man.
Even though they were portrayed to be kind of bullies in the town, and now they're like, we care about the town. I'm sorry, I don't understand. They don't show enough of anything. I guess when we're talking earlier, I guess my point is like, okay, I at least want them to show things instead of just like tell us things.
Instead of relying on, oh, this happened over here.
Yeah, it's like, can I see?
That's their way to try to hook you.
So I guess, so I guess a good example. I guess Cad Bane would be a good example of like showing us at least something about him without me having to see him in anything else. Like they showed Banth be really good with his trigger, really good, but Cad beat him. So Cad Bane beat him. So it's like, whoa, okay, he is, he's really good, and that's what he does. And he's like quiet, chill. He's powerful. Okay, that they portrayed that to me, and like, it didn't take much to portray that, even if I haven't seen him in something else.
Well, the other thing too is they undercut Boba's proficiency, his power. It's like he doesn't have to be the fastest draw, but he should be like comparable.
I thought he was supposed to be a little more cunning too, because that's how he did things in the Empire. I thought that's how he was shown to be, was like he found out like a route that Han Solo would take with the dumpster trash or whatever on the fleet and all that, and then he and then he figured out that Luke arrived and shot at him. He didn't do anything really, but he was being snuck up upon and then found him and broke his cover. And it was like, he did what little things he did. He seemed kind of clever to be doing stuff. And it's
also, like, I didn't notice. I don't know if it was on Twitter or if it was the commentary in Attack of the Clones, but the whole like Obi-Wan using the trash to blow up the missile and fake his death to Jango. It's like that's supposed to be the Easter egg of like that's where Boba learned that.
Yeah, exactly. No, right. I agree. It's like
and it's like, oh shit, this just adds more levels to Star Wars. Yeah,
he learned the trick. He learned the trick.
I love learning the it's so obvious.
That's a good way to build on it. I agree. That's a good way to build on it, because that's not oh, something happened and it's whatever. It's like, no, something happened, and where there didn't need to be meaning, you've inserted meaning, and that's good. That feels good. I don't see that happen enough to enjoy it, because it doesn't happen enough. But if there's more things like that, then I would be more for what we were talking about earlier with having expansion of stuff. But a lot of times it comes off flat to me.
It's a lot like comics where it's like, oh, we're fighting. We haven't done this since, and there'll be like a blurb where
20 issues ago.
There'll be a blurb where it's like asterisks. It's like, see this story in comic number 175, and you're at like different series number 12, and you're like, wait, I gotta read a whole different fucking volume of some other team, like
yeah, that's annoying.
And that's where so like Star Wars is getting to a point if they keep this track going and don't make like just kind of like more standalone sequels or whatever that like are their own trilogies or stories to add to the saga that are just like those three you can live with and not need extra. There is extra, but you don't need it. When they keep stacking all this like interconnected shit where it's like so dense in things that are secondary and tertiary, that's what's going to like crowd them, where it's like so many people are gonna be like, wait, I don't know 5 of these main characters. Where are they from? They're being shoehorned in and like they were teasing some comic, you know, or whatever, or a book or a game. And it's like, you can do it here or there. But Chrysan, it's like I never thought he'd be a huge character. And it's like, okay, he's got some weight to him for a Wookiee, you know. Wookiees should be kind of to the sideline. But yeah, no, I definitely see that problem with like making it overwhelming. Like to retards, 9 episodes that are out of sequence are already like, wait, what? Episode 1's after 4, but it's 1. It like it, you know, like you see the droid.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And so there's already this problem where it's like, wait, Rogue One, I thought this was new Star Wars, but Kylo Ren.
My brother, when it came out, he thought it was going to be in between episode 6 and 7, Rogue One.
Yeah, exactly. See, like this is the thing with the normies. They see episode 7, then Rogue One comes out, and they're like, "Wait, what happened to Kylo Ren? Darth Vader's back? What?" Like,
well, and like when he words, you know, you'll be my first student at my academy. But then in Rise of Skywalker, they show him training Leia at some point, and it's like, well, so was she not your first student technically?
No, well, someone pointed out, and there was articles where it's like, oh, well, maybe Disney will retcon its established canon because films take precedent, and so they'll like steer around that. So like the Ahsoka book filled in the whole like Siege of Mandalore, but then they made Clone Wars season 7. They kind of, I haven't read that book, but I know
skirted it away or something.
They've deviated around like the goings on in that story. Like the core elements are there, but a lot of details that were never part of the book or change, you know. And so there's a hierarchy. I'm fine with that, but like when your whole thing was to eradicate 40 years of storytelling outside of the films to like clean slate and streamline your canon with everything, and then you're like a decade in, it's already like falling apart when this is pretty much a linear story, even with the tangents you're writing. It's all one timeline.
We talked about this. That's my thing. If this was somehow more coherent or cohesive with how everything's being tied through and everything, I would be more for it. But one thing will probably say something else didn't happen, and then something else will say it did happen, and we'll see it happen, and it's like neither of those or both, or I don't know. And it's like, okay. And it's like, okay, Cad Bane's probably dead at some point in between, but no, he's dead. He's alive throughout everything until Boba Fett, and then he gets killed there. And it's like, but then he's still alive probably after that, because they'll probably bring him back because they like him. And so it's like, okay, I don't know. Some of these threads get lost, and it's not as tight, I guess, as like other things. And I don't know, some of it doesn't seem as worth it. But like when you pointed out the Boba Fett hiding and learned from Obi-Wan thing, that's an interesting. It's like that's such a small, minute type of thing that can like builds on that character's strategy.
It's like,
type of
that's
thinking.
so cool.
That help builds his way of thinking. If you think about it, it's like, you know, he's like, wow, how can we, how could he have possibly gotten away from us? And the dude was cunning, and Boba's learning at a young age, like, you know, how to be more clever than just, you know, a brute force kind of guy. And the way his dad was fighting Obi-Wan was like, you know, kind of a hit and retreat type of style. Like you can't just, you know, charge at them because they have a freaking lightsaber and they can use the force and shit. Like you got to try to catch them off balance and make them, you know, be working to stay on balance so you can, you know, try to kill them. It seemed like a interesting type of battle with that. But real quick, Rob has a little question here. Should Grogu have chosen Luke over Mando? Thoughts? I mean, I don't really care who he would have chosen, but I think he would have chosen Mando. I think it's dumb that they showed that he did that now and immediately went back to Mando immediately. Like, it just seemed a little
that should have been a cliffhanger
quick
for Mando, and they should have just had him by himself, left him with Luke for a minute and had fucking Mando, because he had this whole suspension of time with these different like storylines.
Yeah, I kind of thought Mando would have a few episodes by himself searching for what he wants to do as well, like what he's doing. like with his Mandalorian identity, what he wants to do for a career. If
Maybe he
wants
finds
to be
the
with
ruins of
Grogu.
Tar Vizsla or
Right. Like,
Road
will
or
he
something.
pursue that? Will he try to pursue something else? Will he join up with Boba on his things? Like, it would have been neat to see him explore a few options before. Okay, nope, Grogu's here, and now they're off to another adventure in a very tiny ship.
Yeah,
So
but
I
no,
looked right on
yeah.
that.
What I was getting at with the book stuff is that there was articles going around where it's like, oh well, it's already established in the comics that Kylo was Luke's first apprentice or Padawan, whatever, and they're like, well, with this dilemma that they've cliffhanged us on, will they retcon that? Will Grogu be his first? But it's like they already spoiled it with the whole cockpit behind.
Hold on, not just that. When was Leia his student? Because they showed that she pretty much beat him, and I don't think that they. Can you imagine Leia and Kylo at the same time being trained? Like, no.
What
Kylo
happened?
first?
What happened was he
Like-
trained Kylo, and then he decimated his Jedi temple, and then Luke thought, well, maybe I'll train my. No, he was training Leia before
Kylo
was born.
So
She
how can
dropped
they
out when she found out she was pregnant.
But then why would he say that Kylo is his first student? I guess at his academy specifically. Like, I don't know, because if that's the case, Leia was his first student, really. Right?
Time travel, am I right?
Oh no. I don't care that they did time travel. I don't like time travel in Star Wars. Don't do that.
No, I was making the Hulk joke where it's like,
oh, I know.
Makes sense. He's like, time travel, am I right? That's kind of
I
them
forgot
just, like,
about
throwing
that
their
joke.
hands up like, this doesn't make sense. Just go with it. It's a cartoon.
Yeah. Sure.
And it's like, well, you did everything else so well. I'll go along with it.
Uh-huh.
I'll let it pass.
Yeah, barely, but
It's
guess
an old
so.
meme, but it checks
It's an
out.
old meme, but it checks out. God damn it. Every sentence you're just pulling out another quote. Just
I'm on a roll today.
oh my gosh. And what's funny is that a lot of these horrible ones almost make funnier quotes because they're so
That's
retarded.
what's crazy. Like the Luke
so
tossing his
dumb.
saber and it's Book of Boba Fett. And it's like, this hurts, but it's funny.
Like a bantha. It's just no. Stop it.
Well, I never, I still don't get like people use that as like, see, the show
No,
sucks.
I know what you mean. No, I just think it just
You don't
sounds
get the context.
weird.
He's like,
I know, I
trying to
get it.
illustrate. Yeah,
I
like,
get
that
it,
irritates me.
but it just sounds weird. Is all. It's just like a bantha. It's just funny. I don't know. It's one of those. It's just one of those cringe lines to me. But I get
don't
it.
Get why it's cringe. It's like it makes total sense. Like I didn't even think of it as a meme. I watched it and it's like, yeah, okay, it makes sense. And then I see everyone jumping on it, and then it's like, okay, I guess it's a meme now. But I don't have the investment of like,
This is why they raped Boba Fett.
No, you see, I'm not doing
like
it.
a bantha.
No,
They killed his
agree with.
character.
I agree with what you're saying. I'm not like angry about it or like, oh, it's breaking his character. I just think that it comes off as weird from Tamara Morrison and delivering it. Like, I don't know, like a
he did
bantha.
fine.
And
I love his
and it's
voice.
just because I'm comparing it to when he says other things. Like I said, I had an issue with his whole dialogue delivery throughout the whole show. Like the line or like the type of lines he says that add nothing. Like when his dialogue adds nothing, that's even worse. Like when he's like, I grew up surrounded by water. It's like, okay, and how does that help with anything mentioned about this part of the episode? And it doesn't. Okay. It's like saying, hey, there's some trees outside. We're going to cut them down. I grew up surrounded by trees. Okay. All right. It's just, yep.
Wait, who did he say that to? Did he say it to the Tuscans?
Those
or
two,
to Fennec?
dodgeball guy.
Dodgeball guy. I totally forgot about it. Man, they didn't even bring him back.
It's like
You're making me hate it more and more.
The dodgeball guy was like, oh no, we have a problem with water. And then he goes, I grew up surrounded by water. And it's like, and that helps us in what way, Boba? I don't know. I just think I grew up surrounded by water. Thank you for your contribution to solving nothing. Thank you.
I don't know. You're kind of neurotic with some of this shit. Where
Well, it's like I'm not.
Some of these things just like totally pass over. Like
it's not like it's the end of the world. I'm just
like it sticks out to you so bad. I know it irritates, and I'm like, I didn't even think of it to be an irritant.
Like think about it. Like if we were just having a conversation, like yeah, I like hamburgers, and they taste pretty good, and you're like, I grew up surrounded by cows. I'd be like, okay, like, is that all? Like, thanks for that. It's just awkward. It's just like such a random thing. It's just be like, thank you for.
I don't know. I think maybe when I watched it, I'll have to like find that scene again because it's going to bother me trying to piece out your irritation about it. But it's like maybe because Kamino's on his mind clearly, the back to tank. So maybe I'm trying to think what I was thinking when that happened. If I even put thought into it, it was like, oh, maybe I just took it as like, oh yeah, he's thinking of like Tad of Kamino, where it's like, yeah, it's strange.
Well, I guess
it's strange where it's like I'm saying like he's probably thinking like, yeah, it's strange how like circumstance can make you value things differently.
It's just the way that it's played is that the guy randomly says that Tatooine was once full of water, and then he says, "I grew up surrounded by water," and the point is that he wants him to stop the hoodlums, and this whole bit of the conversation is pointless. It kind of like when they're looking at the map and the droid is talking about the plans and then he doesn't say Jabba the Hutt, and he's like, you know who? He's like, who? Jabba? Okay, you could say that name. Okay, I didn't want to offend you. Okay. It's just like such a nothing conversation of just okay.
No, that was weird because that one was weird because it's like when would this have offended him? He worked for the guy.
Or like, aren't I the crime lord? Isn't he supposed to be the one that gives me the money? And not me give the money to him. It's just like the way it's just being played out in the dialogue. It's just like, yeah.
No, I was totally fine with that, with this whole dialogue with the like, when it's like, yeah, so you want to talk about your tribute, and he's like, what? Aren't you the one supposed to be giving me money?
But it's like
he's kind of thinking out loud.
But to me, it's just so obvious that and it's just not funny. But they think it's funny. And
I mean, that's the Disney limitation there.
And it just, but then I see, so my point is I see that kind of thing, like with the Jabba, who, and all that, like that's like copied in throughout this whole dialogue is how I see most of the dialogue exchange. It's just that's mostly pointless, mostly delivered weird. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I grew up surrounded by water. Aren't I the crime lord? Aren't you supposed to pay me all these?
I did like the joke. I did like the joke where it's like, keep your eye on him. He's like, sorry, it's a phrase. Like, I thought that was kind of funny because it's like, well, he's a freak, and clearly it's weird. Like,
I don't know. I would have just been like, yeah, I said, keep your super eye on it. God, that's if I offended you, grow some balls. That's what.
Or go to the doctor and get some.
Yeah, they seem to sell them, I guess, and the mechanical ones. That just made me think of a funny joke. But anyway, I think that's I don't know. The book of bibliography is done. Kenobi's next, and there's gonna be more sand. Tatooine. Fuck that. No.
And I'm gonna make you watch it. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna laugh if you become. This is gonna be like Spider-Man: No Way Home. You're gonna be like, oh my god. Why have I not been watching more Star Wars? Fucking Obi-Wan. Yes. That's gonna be you, rookie.
If it could somehow do that, I'm gonna
laugh. I would be your Spider-Man of Star Wars.
I would be like impressed beyond belief.
Everything is possible. Perfect. You're gonna sound like some Disney shill.
I mean, we'll see. I completely doubt it 100%, but we'll see.
You're gonna be riding that show like a bantha.
Like this is also on Tatooine. I feel like it's weird that all these events are on Tatooine.
What a perfect location to ride a bantha.
It's just you don't need bantha.
Oh, I can't wait till Obi-Wan hangs out with the Tusken Raiders.
Oh my god.
That's why he knew how to scare them. He heard their fucking ghost stories to the kids at the campfire. They're like,
I hope Obi-Wan kills a few Tuskens. That'd be nice. Kill some more Tuskens.
Well, no, they're gonna give you the backstory of why he knows to do the crate dragon call or whatever to freak them out.
Oh, is that what that was?
Back then, it was
the whistly, the whistly noise.
Yeah, when he's like, ooh, I am a ghoul man, and they freak out like, oh shit!
I don't get why they'd run away from it. Honestly, it's like, oh, this non-threatening, weird whistling thing.
Oh my god, yeah, someone should edit that scene with like black people being like, "Oh fuck, nigga, let's run!" Like,
let's get out of here, Scooby Doo.
No, like one's like, "Hey, Kevin, what'd you find in that speeder?" He's like, "I ain't found shit." The one Spaceballs reference that works. That's funny.
We ain't found shit. I know, like when they were literally there was a point where like the Tuskens were literally combing the desert, like it was briefly in the background, but they just have like a rake and they're just like
I think they're probably
the
trying
sand.
to find melons.
I guess, but it's just funny because it visually looks like they're combing the desert. They're combing the desert, literally. And that's funny. They called
I kind of
them...
want to watch fucking Family Guy Star Wars now.
I know. Well, I want to watch, like I said, I am a little bit more wanting to watch Breaking Bad because I want to see how they can do a plot about
you've seen such a stupid ass
good
drug plot. Watch a real one with the guy who happens to be in Star Wars now, and Moff Gideon is Gus Fring. He's like this fucking emperor overlord eventually in the fucking story, and then it gets even bigger than him, and it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's like I understand what like meth can be bad, and so I can get that. Unlike spice,
You say it like it can be good.
Well, it makes some people happy, so I don't know. So, I don't know.
Someone at Christmas is like, "Oh, I just wish someone would show they love me," and then it's like, "Oh, a gift from Santa Claus, meth!
Yay!
I'm so happy."
Is it gonna be the green meth from Star Wars: The Last Jedi or not?
Oh yeah, green or blue meth. Yeah, you'll have a fucking meth titty monster.
You get it. A meth monster. There you go. That would be funny. The Rancor should be on
my beer.
The Rancor. Well, the Rancor should be on meth. I wonder if the Rancor to get milk would squeeze those mammals to get the titty milk out. Like just pick them up like a Capri Sun and just
Wait, hold on really quick. I'm gonna show one thing. Let me find it
okay.
On my phone before we close out.
Okie dokie.
Take me a moment to scroll and find where it's at. Okay.
Yeah. What?
Let me email it to myself.
Email it to yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, that's what gets annoying about making donuts because I haven't figured out how to or maybe it's not an option in the hit film what I got, but I'll email myself images and then I'll edit them into the thumbnail template and then I'll email it back to myself, put it back on the computer, and then put the font on it.
Yeah,
because I don't have all the font options on the free Photoshop on my phone.
Yep. Hey there, Roy says, hey, Disney, Star Wars, constantly crapping out garbage, even with good concepts. League of Legends made Arcane, and everyone expected it to suck, but it's beautiful cinema. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. So I do want to see Arcane because it doesn't look like something I'd like, but apparently there's really good stuff in it. So I'm going to be checking that out too. And that is on Netflix, so...
yeah, I was thinking of this when we're talking about Spice earlier. It's if they just showed some shady guy, it's you want to buy some spice?
Yes,
got some death sticks too.
How come they didn't have death sticks be the thing instead? I can at least a death stick sounds dangerous. You know,
that must be bad.
Yeah, you don't want to have death sticks where kids can get them, right? No. But spice. I'm just I don't. And then they showed spice with the chest. And it fell on the ground and it just got blown away. I'm I still don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, get it off. No, get it off. Get away from me. Ah, no.
Oh
no.
Did you see that Star Wars? It made me go,
oh no. You're killing me. You're really killing me. You're killing me. You're really killing me.
You love cats. Come on.
Not that cat. Fuck that cat.
That's such an ingenious fucking Photoshop. They literally just put a mouth on the cat and it totally changes it.
It's a new species called the fucking weird cat. I don't like that. Nope.
It's like
Nope,
people
nope.
envision like cat girls like sexy, but in reality, it's like they just have like human mouths.
No, I'm ending the stream. Fuck that shit.